Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Or afternoon. I guess it depends on where you are. It's still morning here for me. Haven't had my coffee yet this morning. So hello, hello, hello. All right, guys, we are live everywhere. Live everywhere. All right. All right. So you know the deal. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Timothy Trump, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. And yeah, let go.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts tight, lies get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone.
Good morning.
No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat. You talk slick, but you ain't got
Sorry,
source.
guys.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Just had to make some adjustments.
You slip once, I'm snatching it all. Yeah. Step in if you dare. You dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. No. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? You wanna sparring with Santana.
Hey guys, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the chili pepper.
You hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? You wanna sparring with Santana.
Yeah.
This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This a flame
It absolutely
space.
is.
And don't you wanna sparring with Santana?
Oh, you said beg for money. Guess what, Nate? You beg to be heard. You beg to be heard, bud. How about that one? You beg to be heard. Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you're someone that supports Donald Timothy Trump, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. With that being said, if you are friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Can we go ahead and knock out the daily gift goal a couple of times? It'll help push us out to the FYP. It's the little chili peppers. Also, guys, please send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Again, only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We're only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We are only looking for some debates. Oh, all right. Lost the person there. Hi, are you a Trump supporter?
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, awesome. What can I call you?
Call me Bucky's. That's what my name is.
Bucky's? Okay, I just want to make sure. Perfect. All right, Bucky's. Quick question for you. Before we get started, question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you know who I am?
No, I don't know who you are.
Okay, no, that's fair. It's perfectly fair. Would you mind if I give you a quick introduction to who I am and what this is?
I don't really feel that's necessary, but
I do.
I thought you wanted to talk about President Trump. I don't need to know your background.
Welcome to the main event. get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one base with Trump supporters. If you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you're someone that supports Donald Timothy Trump, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. With that being said, if you're not a Trump supporter, tap the screen, share the live. It looks like Buc-ee's couldn't actually hold off. We all know that Trump supporters have impulse control issues. I get it. It's hard for them to sit still for 2 seconds, especially when, and they're not the full center of attention. So with that being said, if you are a Trump supporter, get in the box and listen. Guys, I don't know if you all are aware of everything that's been going on overnight until now, but it's a shit show. MAGA, those Epstein files are pretty damning. Those Epstein files are hella damning. Those Epstein files, there's documents where there's actual documents where Trump is on the phone in a limousine and talking about Epstein and talking about how they raped a young woman together. Did you guys see that one? Yeah. That one's crazy. Oh, the unredacting. So this is peak Trump administration. The Trump administration, they're so incompetent that the people that were doing the redaction, they didn't use the proper format. And so if you copy and paste the redacted information into a notes file, not all of it, some of it, but if you copy and paste the redacted information into a notes file, it gives you the unredacted information. They're so incompetent. I've said this a million times before, and I truly mean this when I say it. If it weren't for the fact that the entire administration is either out for themselves or complete idiots, we'd be in trouble, right? Because Trump was able to become president as a populist candidate. Oh, Jessica, I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing, but can't really do conspiracy theories. But what if it was intentional? That's an interesting thought. One other thing that this is outside of the Epstein files, but this goes towards the trash economy. This was information just was released this morning, and as of January, people who have been in forbearance, I think it's called, who haven't been paying their student loans for one reason or the other, starting in January, they're going to start looking to do payroll garnishment. So all those people with student loan debt, they're looking to do payroll garnishment. It's super interesting to me how a country like the United States of America, the most powerful, richest country on earth, and they can give out PPP loans, they can give out loan packages to foreign countries, they can do all of these things. But when it comes to helping out their citizens, and when it comes to student loan debt or medical debt, because we know for a fact that they even are pushing to be able to add medical debt. They remove the protections that keep medical debt from being added to people's credit report. And the only thing that it pushes me back to is that this administration is looking to do maximum amount of harm. Like maximum amount of harm. That's the only logical conclusion. That's the only logical conclusion, that they're looking to do maximum amount of harm. With that being said, you said goofy like Harris. Yeah, RM, guess what, bud? I'm going to mute you because you're a coward in the comments, and I'm going to send you a request. I bet you won't come up. I bet you won't come up. I bet you won't do it. I bet you won't do it because you're a coward. You're an absolute chicken shit coward. Exactly. I knew you wouldn't do it. I knew you wouldn't do it. Honestly, guys, I don't even know what we expect from them anymore. I don't know. We love Trump, baby, your daddy. Nikki, that's not even how you use that in a sentence, but I'm going to go ahead and mute you because I'm sure you're a bot, but I bet you won't request up either. Anywho, I don't even know if I can blame them anymore. I can still blame them for being stupid, right? Because like they're still stupid. But can anyone actually blame them for not standing up and saying, "Hey, I voted for Trump"? It's the worst decision they ever made in their lives. And I just really wonder if it's worth it for them. I mean, I understand they got played. I don't think they really get the fact that they got played. I don't think they really understand the full scope of how bad they harmed themselves. But I wonder if the harm is worth them saying, "No transgenderism. The blacks need to stop getting everything. Women can't have abortions." Right? I wonder if honestly, like being able to get that hateful load off is worth all the harm that's occurring. Santana needs a job. You do as well, bud. You come in here and watch my live every day. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. Come up here and tell me about it. Of course you won't. Let's say everyone could just love one another like why wait, it's so bad. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess. I don't think necessarily that's something that's gonna happen. Toe Muncher, I'm gonna block you because you're a fucking weirdo. Hi, are you lost the person? Sure. I'm gonna mute you as well. You come up here and tell me about it, bud. You know what's interesting to me though, and I've said this already before, and now I feel like I'm just yelling into the void. But it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me that it seems like they're doubling down on being wrong. I talked to a guy yesterday, right? And I noticed this as I was scrolling through TikTok at different points, listening to different lives. And they're moving off of the point as far as like trying to prove certain things. Oh, come and tell me about it, Joseph. Joseph, I'm going to mute you. You said GDP grew in the third quarter. Sure. Go ahead and send your request. Come up here and tell me about it, Mr. Economic Man. Mr. I read a number somewhere, man, and I don't understand how shit works. Come up here and tell me about it, Joseph. I don't think you will. But they moved away from actually trying to defend certain points, and they are now moving to the position of getting stuck on points that aren't point. And regardless of what's being said, they refuse to actually concede reality. And that's weird for me, right? That's weird for me that we're in a position where there's certain people who absolutely are detached from reality. And not only are they detached from reality, but they won't engage in reality. Okay, J Mill. I mean, that's cool. I don't know what you want me to do with the Trump and bicep, but I'm going to mute you. If you want to tell me about how you love Trump's biceps, then request up. Like, I don't want to know that you love Trump arms for some reason in the chat. If you want to tell me about how much you love his arms, then get in the box and you can talk about it. But you're not going to put the weird shit in my chat. Did I see Nicki Minaj? Yeah, Nicki Minaj has been a clown. I talked about Amfest. I posted a video on the main, and I went back talking about how it was just basically a Klan rally. That's all. It was a Klan rally, and Nicki Minaj was a booger sugar token. That's it. Is it true what the E-File said about DJ paying to SA a minor? Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple of different excerpts as far as additional stuff that came out. So there's that. Yes, Kanye. Yes, Nicki Minaj is new Kanye. You know what's funny though? Nicki Minaj showed us who she was when she married a pedophile. Nicki Minaj is married to a pedophile. Her father's a pedophile. Of course, she's good with pedophiles being around and being in power. So I don't think that there's much to it. Anyway, guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We're only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you're not a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Hi, are you a Trump supporter?
No, I just want to say something real quick. If anyone hasn't had,
Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We're only looking for some debates. Please respect the boundary. I don't understand why people do that. I mean, like, seriously, I'm not exactly sure what you guys hear when I say only request up if you are a Trump supporter. I don't know if you guys hear like only request up if you're a Trump supporter, unless you're this person specifically. Oh, dang it. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Like, I don't understand what that's about. That's weird. I mean, especially people are like, hey, I'm looking to do this thing. You said you're trying to help me. That's okay. I mean, I appreciate it, but I'm good. I do lives all the time. Hi, Benjamin. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Benjamin, just for TikTok purposes, how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
Okay, perfect. Benjamin, I think Donald Trump has officially played you guys, and it's been in multiple areas. Do you feel like that he played you for your vote?
No, I don't believe so.
You still have faith in him?
Yeah, I got faith, yeah.
Why so?
I don't know, man. I think we have to just hold faith, my boy.
Okay. I mean, but why? What gives you like any type of confidence in him?
Yes, sir. So, like, I think that I just have confidence because, I mean, you believe that I'm a horrible person by proxy for being just a person. So I think I have to like have faith in him because the alternative is just basically being hated. So
I don't think that you're a hateful person by proxy.
yes, you do.
No, you can't speak for me. You should ask the question instead of just telling me.
Well, no, I asked the question to all your comrades, and they all said the same thing.
Right, but is everyone else me?
Yeah, I got you. They aren't, so I'll ask you the same question I ask everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that I am a bad person?
I don't know you individually, so I wouldn't be able to say whether you're a good or bad person. And also, morality is subjective. It's highly overrated.
I think so too. I agree with that statement. Do
Yeah.
you think that I benefit from a system differently from you?
Are you a white man?
I am white, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I just want to make this really clear. So, do you believe that by the color of my skin that I benefit more than you?
If you're a white man, then you benefit more than everyone.
Gotcha. Okay. And just to be clear, as a white man, do you believe that I am racist by the very nature of being a white man?
No, I don't think that you're racist by nature. I think you're inherently racist, meaning that the society that we live in, the system, the structure, lends itself to progressing you over non-white people because you are white. And so whether you participate in said system or not, you still reap those benefits.
Sure.
But it's not in your nature. It's not like it's passed down through your blood or anything like that. No, that's not how it works.
Well, by being a white man, wouldn't it be in my blood or my DNA to be white?
Mm-mm.
What makes me
What
white?
is what is race?
What makes me white?
I'm getting to that. What's race?
I don't know. I think race is a made up concept.
Yeah, for sure, but made up about what and why?
I think it's made up in the color of people's skin based upon oppression.
No. So race is a social construct that's based off of socially acceptable phenotypical characteristics that was used to other non-white people in the furtherance of capitalism as a whole, and to oppress non-white people through different systems that still persist today. So with that being said, I mean, it's more than just the color of your skin, because Black people skin can be white, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. 1 second. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly fine.
Hold on 1 second. Chad, is anyone else having an issue with hearing me? Sorry, give me 1 second, Benjamin.
No, you're good, man.
Your mic.
I hear you perfectly
Oh.
fine. I certainly can't hear you very good. So
It might be a glitch. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. It might be a TikTok glitch.
want me to drop them back?
No,
I'll
no,
drop
hold
them
tight. Hold tight just 2 seconds. Yeah, it might be a TikTok glitch because I can hear myself perfectly fine over on YouTube. Someone said lower than normal. You know what? I moved this mic and I realized when I was recording yesterday, if I'm not in a better position, sometimes I lean back and then you can't really hear the mic that well because I move away and I'm like this. And so then that's different. Anyway, yeah, Benjamin. So the actual point that I was making, like Black people can be white. So it's not just based off of the color of your skin.
Gotcha. Okay. Can I present to you maybe like my position, and then maybe you can tell me how you feel about it?
Sure, but I do want to like kind of go back and say one thing, because your original question was, do I think that you are a basically a bad person because you support Donald Trump? And I say this to all people, right, that vote for Donald Trump, because I don't know you on an individual basis. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and judge and say you're good or bad. Just like I won't say that, you know, if you voted for Donald Trump, you're a racist. You voted for Donald Trump, you're a sexist or a classist or a fascist. Like, I'm not going to say all of those things. But what I will say is that it's not a deal breaker for you. Like, that's the one thing that I will commit to, understanding that Donald Trump, who he is and what he stands for, and the oppression of other people and the harm of basically everyone that's not white men, is what he's all about. And so understanding that stance, I will say that it's not a deal breaker for you.
Gotcha. Okay. I understand what you're saying. Okay. I mean, the reason I asked these questions, and just to be clear, I listened to what you just said. Okay, so that's good. So you obviously hold a different position than I'd say than some other people that you associate with. But the reason I asked the question is because when I think of myself aligning with the actual Democratic Party, I think of putting myself into a position where I almost hold power over you by the very ideological belief that I am a white man. And by being a white man, I am almost, by the very system that I operate under, I'm above you. which I disagree with fundamentally. So the problem is that when we vote, I noticed that when I was actually talking to people in the Democratic Party, that I had to deconstruct a racism that I wasn't aware of. Now, do you disagree with that, or do you believe? This is an important question, Santana. So for you, do you believe that as a white man, that I am on a societal level above you?
No.
Okay, good.
I think so. Where it seems like you have a bit of an issue is the individual premise, right?
Sure.
So talking about individual to individual, no, absolutely not. But when you talk about the way that things are structured as a whole, that's different than the actual individual premise. So a lot of people like to say, well, I'm, like I'm poor, or I don't have white privilege, or I don't have this or that, because they look at it as like a singularity. They talk about just themselves. But when you talk about society and the collection and overall how it's put in place, more non-white people, more white people are set up for success in multiple different ways, right? It's a super simple way. Standardized testing, right? The way the standardized testing is structured, it's specifically geared not towards actual knowledge or comprehension, but it's more so geared to retaining information and access to like tricks and tips and studying and like SAT, ACT. It's not about what you actually know, it's about the information that you can retain in that moment and how you can actually prep for it. So access to resources gives you the ability to achieve at a higher level versus just actual intelligence. And so it's those type of things on a higher level. So as an individual, no, but as a collective group, yes.
Okay. Well, tell you what, Santana, I'll say this. You were probably, I've talked to you one time in the past, you are definitely the smarter person I've ever spoken to on the party. So I'm going to leave it.
I wouldn't say that. Listen, there's a couple of people here that you would love to talk to. Like I see Peaches in the comments. I don't know if they want to come up. It's like Solid, Swan, Jeff, Adorna, like all of them would dog walk me on this.
I'm just saying, well, sorry, when I say smarter, I'm saying that you like have a position that is similar to mine, but you also live within some sort of reality. So it's like, I'll leave it at that, because obviously I think that we actually are similar. Well, not similar, but we have similar opinions on this. Okay. I've spoken to people that, you said Swan? Is that Black Swan?
Yeah, Swan.
Okay.
I think her name right now is Daddy Swan.
Daddy Swan. Okay, sorry. So different names they've had before. I've spoken to them as well. They're good people. They just have different positions.
Yeah, so, I mean, so the thing about my friends is like, and when I say that they would dog walk me on any and every position that I have, and I sit back and I learn from them, I'm still learning. But then also the difference between them and me is most of them are communists. And so their position on the world is still a little bit different than my position on the world, because my position on the world more so comes from a socialist perspective. Yeah. And so when you talk to different people of different perspectives, then the way that they go about the ends to the mean may be a little bit different.
Sure.
But that's why have you talked to Hector?
I believe I've spoken to Hector I like Hector. I do like Hector. I've spoken to Hector one time.
I'm not fond of him.
I do actually like Hector. I've spoken to Hector, I believe, there was one time I spoke to him in the past. I tried to speak to him before, but I think he was doing a friendly only live. So, wait, Hector, you there?
Yeah, you don't like me, buddy. Don't jump ahead of yourself. It's okay though.
Hector, listen, man. I like all people, bro.
I just wanted to point out something, because this individual has gone from several different panels. He just tried to do this with Erica the other night, where he would come up and make this argument: do you believe because I am white, I am racist? And he talks about having a main account and that he's like playing this on a stream to Tube or something else, trying to get some gotchas or clips. I don't know what his whole ordeal is, but I appreciate how you pointed out, Santana, the different perspectives versus where we would stand politically versus communists, ultimately influencing how we answer those questions. But the positions are the same.
Yeah,
the positions are the exact same.
I don't agree.
I think it is malicious to go around, especially to some panels where people may believe the sentiment but may not be the most articulate in how they explain it, and then look for a clip of someone saying it incorrectly to pull some type of gotcha.
Can I respond? Please, Hector? Santana is not holding to a position that differs from yours on a major level. All Santana said to me that was different than your position is that he believes that on an individual level, it isn't there, but on an actual macro level, it is there. You hold to the position, Hector, as does other people who have asked this question to, that by me being a white person, I actually have a benefit over you on a micro level. Do you agree with that, Hector, or not?
Well, hold on. Let me make sure I clarify this point though, because that's not exactly what I think.
That's fine.
I think that you have access to it, but it does not necessarily mean that you are capitalizing on it. So I want to make sure that I'm clear about that. Just because on an individual level you have the ability, it does not mean that on an individual level you are maximizing that ability. So that's the like inflection point for me as well.
So you're saying I have the capability of it, but I'm not actually capitalizing on it.
Right. I mean, because it's not a one-to-one. It's basically like saying that, what's the best analogy that I can use? Okay. It's like saying that anyone can, drive a car, but not everyone can be like a NASCAR driver. I think that's the best analogy.
I got you.
Just because you have the same access to certain privileges as the next white man does not mean that you are doing the same thing and it's going to be able to capitalize or utilize at the same level. So that's the symmetry breaker for me.
I got you. Okay, I understand. Hector, do you want to now that he's clarified that, do you want to respond?
Yeah, I want to point out that you just quite literally assumed my position, despite the fact that we have never had this conversation.
I talked to you one time in the past, then one time the other day, but you were busy doing Friendly Live, I believe.
Again, that wasn't even a conversation. I was hosting a live for non-voters, and you came up, despite the fact that you voted for Trump. The time before, I do not recall having a conversation with you about racism.
Gotcha. Okay. So that being said, I guess just to be clear, I mean, you made a statement when you came up that I'm trying to do a gotcha moment. I'm not. I asked the same question to a couple different people, including Dean Withers, Parker. I talked to all of them. I asked the same question. And the question is basically, I'm just curious. I asked Santana already. So Hector, I'll ask you if that's okay, if you don't mind. Do you believe that as a white man, that I am superior by the very nature of being white in America to you?
But ain't nobody superior to me.
I agree with you. I agree 100%. I'm saying that by being a white person, you believe I benefit.
So you pointed out that you've been on several panels with several people. And this has been explained to you several times. But you keep doing the same thing, panel to panel. What is your goal with this?
Great question.
Why in the world do you believe that any black otherwise is going to look at you and say you are superior to me based off of your skin? Although you are perceived as
Thank you.
Well, I don't know why you think a black person's going to answer yes.
You just answered the question. The reason I asked this question is that I don't think I'm superior on any metric to anybody on any level based on the color of his skin. But you just said a key thing. You said, although you are perceived. And that is the reason why I asked this question, because you may not believe it, but other people believe that by the color of my skin, I'm perceived differently than you. And I think that's just fucking wrong. Do you agree or no?
No, disagree. I think you're wrong.
You think that it's okay for people to perceive me as better than you?
Yes.
Yeah, and hey, I want to. I know you guys are kind of getting into a conversation, but I would really love to hear from Peach. Peach is one of those people that I was saying is like S tier when it comes to this type of access, knowledge, and information. And so I think Peach is even more appropriate. No disrespect, Hector, but even more appropriate than myself or Hector.
I'll mute up.
No, I'm saying you can have the conversation with Peach.
Okay, yeah, I'll listen to Peach. Peach, go ahead.
Hey, Tiana, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. My only question right now is I just want to know what Benjamin's aim in asking this question at all is, because it doesn't connect to anything on the background.
Yeah, that's a great question, Peach. Thank you very much. So when the actual statement is made that Trump played you, or a person voted for Trump, I believe firmly that the reason why Trump won is because as being a white person in America, we are actually seen as these horrible people that almost have an advantage over you. Now, if you disagree with that, you can give me the argument for that. But I believe that the Liberal Party or Democratic Party, does hold to the position for the most part that me as a white man or a white woman have a power over you, which I firmly disagree with.
I'm going to try and be as respectful as I can because you did not answer my question. I said, what is the point of you going from live to live, asking Black people this question, but specifically in this live, because your question has nothing to do with anything that is on the background. So we can try it again.
Absolutely. Great question. Okay. Thank you for asking again, Peach. So when I want to be very clear. When you say live to live, I've spoken to Santana.
I don't care. Let's just stay here then. We don't have to be
No.
specific here. No, here. Why are you asking this question here when your question has nothing to do with anything that is on the background?
Santana,
That's what I would like to know.
Santana, is it okay if I respond, Santana? Like, can I say
I mean, this is Peach's show right now, so
I got you.
like you talk to Peach wherever they want to go. Like I'm just sitting back and
I got you. Okay, I got you.
Let me know when they're done. So like,
all right, man, fair enough.
You got to have the conversation with Peach.
All right, fair enough. Peach, to answer your question, when you're saying to start off with, you're saying live to live. I've spoken to a few people, and the reason I'm asking the question is because I do align more with the Democratic Party, but I can't if I am seen as an actual oppressor. I can't do that. That's my answer.
Okay, so that we gonna try one more time. We're gonna try one more time. Do you see the same background that I see? Because it says MAGA, Trump played you, ? There are a couple of bullet points underneath. They say the Epstein files are lies, president of peace, criminal immigrants, trash economy, old man Trump, and then prove me wrong. Do you see that same background that I see?
Yes, Peach, I do see the same background.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page. I believe in multimodality and making sure that all information is available to all people at all times, regardless of their ability. So I appreciate you letting me know that we're viewing the same background. So I would go once more again and ask you how grilling Santana on what he thinks of your race and grilling Hector on what he thinks of your race connect with anything on the background. And let me, you know what, it might be simpler if I just tell you. It might be simpler if I just tell you my objection. My objection is that you're in here completely derailing a discussion because you want to talk about whether white people are inherently racist, because you've mentioned several people's names who are not in here right now. You've mentioned several lives that you're not in right now. You're in Santana's live. So I'm trying to figure out why you needed to come in here and do all of this that does not connect with the background. Because right now, Santana, according to the background, is wanting to discuss whether there are people in here who are MAGA or Trump supporters who feel like they have been played. And here are several examples of the way that MAGA has been played. Right? And so that's my statement to you. I'm going to change it from a question to a statement. My statement to you is that watching this is you ignoring someone's clear and cogent boundaries because they're on the background. That's what this man has told you that he is here and wanting to discuss. But you decided to come in by your lonesome and change this into a discussion of whether or not YT people are racist simply because they are YT. It sounds to me like you need to go start your own live. That's what it sounds to me like. Or, and here's going to be my final statement, and you will be able to respond to me because I will actively listen to you. Your other option would be to let go of whatever this thing is that you have, check into the background and have a discussion with the host and or with the rest of the panel that is on topic, because right now you are wildly off topic and totally disconnected with what the host's aim for his own live is. So that's why we respect other people. That's why we respect other people's boundaries. That's why we take into account other people, because we're not the only people in the world, right? We need to make sure other people know that they matter as well. And Santana's live matters, and what Santana wants to talk about matters. If you need it to be a Benjamin live, a Benjamin show, then you would go and start your own live. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, Peach, I do. Santana, let me say this. If your intentions of the live,
I'm so sorry. Why are you talking to Santana when Santana just told you that you were talking to me? Why do you keep deferring to Santana and completely ignoring that I'm the one talking to you?
Sorry, Peach. The reason I did that is because you mentioned that Santana has boundaries. I wanted to address his boundaries and refer back to you. Is that okay?
So what you should have done, the first word, if you want to do that, the first thing out of your mouth would have been an apology to Santana.
Yeah, but I was doing that.
Go ahead then.
Yeah. Santana, listen, if you have boundaries for the live, I apologize that me mentioning, I thought that by the actual head bullet point of MAGA Trump played you, I thought you were referring to all Trump supporters. So I came in to have a conversation about that. Now, I see you have sub-bulletin points, as Peach has mentioned, and I do want to respect you to that extent. So if you want to have conversations with people about that, that's okay. Peach, I will address you now in regards to what you said. Peach, the reason I'm doing these live sometimes is because the conversations that I have when I do go live, which isn't too often, is typically always calling me a racist person by white, right? So I asked the question, how I can deconstruct my racism, but there's never an answer. So anything else to say to that, or are we done?
First of all, the first thing I have to say to you is check your motherfucking tone and use your inside voice when you speak to me before I fuck around and put you outside. You're not going to talk to me like that. Secondly, if you want help deconstructing your internalized racism and anti-Blackness, and you want it specifically from Santana, maybe you need to ask Santana if he would like to be compensated for that labor, because I'm doing labor right now for you by telling you this. Okay, so if you want labor from people to assist you, I'm actually still talking and I know my mouth is moving. So if you want labor from people to assist you in decolonizing and processing your racism and anti-Blackness, then you ask those people how you can compensate them for their labor. Right, because that's another way that we show that we care about people. But the fact of the matter is you came into this live and you centered yourself. This whole live has now become about Benjamin. It is no longer about any of the topics on the background.
That's inappropriate.
I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm
Peach.
still
Hey,
talking.
Benjamin, please stop. Let Peach
That's
finish what they're
inappropriate.
saying.
That's inappropriate. Come on.
That's fine, but just stop, let Peach finish, and then you can speak. Sorry, go ahead, Peach.
It's okay, baby. So one thing I noticed about Santana is, and Tana, correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Tana will, before he has anybody up on this panel, he says it over and over again. Only request if you're a Trump supporter, please only request if you're a Trump supporter, right? And then the person will come up on the panel and Tana will give an introduction to say, this is what we're talking about today. I've seen him do it. He runs through the bullet points and says, okay, prove me wrong. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. What part of Tana welcoming you up today, in what part of that did he say, Benjamin, would you like to talk to me about whether I think YT people are racist because they are YT? Because I have a feeling the truth is that he never said that. How do I have a feeling? Because I was here and I heard it all. So you have centered yourself. You have made this space about you, and it's not about you. It's about the host and what the host wants to discuss. So I'm sorry if it doesn't work for me. And I simply wanted to ask you your point, and you've told me your point. Your point was that you wanted to cause a commotion, and you did. Cool.
All right, may I respond, Peach?
The floor is yours, Benjamin.
Yeah, okay, so there's numerous problems here, okay? The problem is that when you're using the term that I'm centering myself, I want to be very clear. When I came up onto this actual live, it was me and Santana having a conversation. Now, Santana or whoever else brought up two other people, that was them. That was not me. I'm not choosing to center myself. I'm choosing to have a conversation with Santana, which I've had a conversation with him in the past under a different account. We've had very respectful conversations. I have no intentions to come here and disrespect you or Santana. I was asking questions that I thought were important questions. Now, if you want to deflect from the questions I'm asking, and if you want to call me a person that is centering myself, then do so as you will, okay? The problem is that I haven't centered myself at all. I asked Santana a question. You told me that he has prompts he wants to talk about. I said that it's okay. And Peach, you just decided to come out here and just start saying things that aren't even relevant to the conversation. I also allowed you. Not allowed. I quieted myself while you spoke because I want to hear what you have to say. But when I was speaking, I was muted immediately.
Yeah, what it was is I muted you because Peach was still in the middle of what they were saying, and I wanted to make sure the conversation could be had. Just like Peach just didn't say anything while you were speaking. I do want to bring this to the forefront, right? And when it comes to like the overall conversation, I'm pretty rigid when it comes to like specifically talking about Trump, and our conversation did kind of spiral off on a side note. And I made it known that like there's people who have these type of conversations that again are widely more knowledgeable than myself. That's why I mentioned Peach. That's why I mentioned Swan. That's why I mentioned Solid, Jeff, Sean, Adorna, all of them. And specifically, even more so, that's why I said like when you have this type of conversation with them, their perspective as far as like their ideology, them being, communists or whatever the case may be, shifts the actual thought processes that they have. But with that being said, like the center of my conversation is more so around like the current. I always try to get people back to like what's currently happening within our society, like what's currently happening with the Trump administration. And I think that what happens is that people who support Donald Trump often look for ways to veer off to other topics instead of like being where your feet are. And the topic of like identity politics is something that I don't necessarily like to dive into, because the premise of people sitting saying like, hey, I have to vote this way because I'm a white man, or this party is saying that like I'm bad and so I can't vote. Like, well, I can't speak for Peach, but I do know like people like Sean and Solid, they don't even believe in like the electoral process. Like they don't care if you're voting for a Democrat or a Republican because of their greater ideology. But with that being said, like I like to try to stay where we are, and I will again defer to the people that I learn from. If the conversation is more so around like whiteness and race and all this other stuff, I'm more than willing to have that conversation because I feel like I know enough to talk about it. But that's not the premise of my life. And I think that's the crust of what Peach is saying.
All right, I'm going to leave it right there. Santana, I have one question before I leave, and this is up to you if you want to do. Every single person right now, except for people that messaging me, are saying that I'm a racist. Can you confirm? Have I said anything racist to you, Santana?
There you go again.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
It's fine. It's fine, guys. I got it. It's fine.
Santana, listen, I respect you. I respect you, Santana. I respect you.
My premise is, and I again, I think that you're inherently racist.
That's fine.
Society.
That's fine.
But then I always take people on an individual level as far as they're actively portraying racism, right? If they're actively engaging in those things when it comes to like an interpersonal level, which is a whole different subject. But
absolutely
on an individual level, you're not a flaming racist. I don't think that you're a Triple K member, or you're out here slurring, or you're advocating for, white man fight back. Like I don't think any of that. I mean, you haven't portrayed any of that across, but also like our conversation have been overall surface level. So just like when you act, their first question is like, do you think that I'm bad? Like morality is subjective. And if I don't know you on an interpersonal level, then I don't feel comfortable making those type of statements. And you and I haven't had a conversation long enough to really get into it, whether I can say, yes, Benjamin is actively a racist or whatever the case may be.
I got you. Santana, thank you very much. Listen, I heard
Peach wants to say something though. Go ahead, Peach.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
absolutely. You've been virulently racist while you've been on this panel, and I will say that, and I don't mind if you're screen recording to be able to
That's fine.
use this for a clip. Please don't speak over me. I have stayed muted every time that you've started talking, regardless of how much nonsense that you've shared. And what I will say is that you have clearly shown your anti-Blackness. You've clearly shown your racism. You've clearly shown that you're not ready to unpack that, because the closest thing that you said to something that was on topic was that you said you felt like you needed to vote for Trump because people on the left or libs or Democrats or whatever from the other party see you as racist. So you're telling me that because your feelings were hurt, you decided that the best course of action was to vote for an authoritarian who was going to install oligarchs all through this country and put brown shirts in every major city that we have, including to attempt to deport so many people that they've now started to pick up American citizens. And they've started to pick up American-born citizens as well. 5 of them just finished testifying in front of Congress about having been picked up and having told authorities that they were born American citizens here in America, and they did not care and were still arrested. So you voted for that because your feelings were hurt. And one of the tenets of white supremacy is called the right to comfort, meaning you are willing to do anything that you possibly need to do to make sure that you feel comfortable. That is in itself a premise, a foundational premise of whiteness. So yes, you are behaving. I'm actually still talking. I know you feel like you have a whole bunch to say, baby, but you don't, not to me. So what I'm telling you here is today in this live, yes, you have behaved in a harmful, anti-Black, and racist way. You absolutely have. And I hope, my hope for you is that something in this conversation with Tana, with Hector, with me, looking at the chat, something will stick with you. Something will stay with you where you get to ask yourself, how can I do something differently? Why were my feelings so hurt? Why am I so upset at what I think other people might think about me versus what's going to be best for the majority of us? How can I participate in this society in a way that's going to benefit the largest number of people rather than assisting in installing an authoritarian who wants to name himself king and not let us have any more elections? So I hope that that is something that you take away from this. And now I am finished.
Okay, sounds good, Peach. Just so you know, I was just saying okay when I was talking. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Okay, sounds good. I understand. So the right to comfort. I gathered that from what you're saying, and it's actually very unfortunate too, because like Santana and Hector, well, Hector kind of disagree with me a little bit, but I kind of actually agree with both you guys. I mean, Peach, you're holding a position against me, and unfortunately, I don't want to like disagree with that, but I do understand what you're saying to some extent. I don't want it to seem like the only actual woman I'm disagreeing with. But Hector disagreed with me. So did Santana. Peach, you are a woman, so I'm going to respect what you're saying. And I will leave it at that because obviously I have my questions. I'm not, to be very clear, I'm not recording this one. It's inappropriate. But I'll say this. Actually, you know what, Santana, I'll tell you what. Let's let us move on to this live. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to keep it going. I don't want to keep it going. I don't want to keep this going, man. We'll leave that at that.
Fine. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and drop you down. I appreciate you coming up and at least engaging in the conversation.
Yes. Peach, thank you for saying what you said. I heard what you said. I'm listening to it. We'll leave it at that. Thank you. Thank you, Santana. Take care.
Hector, Peach, thank you both for coming up. I really appreciate you guys. Anything else that either one of you wanted to add?
I'll just say, y'all want to be victims so bad. Look, going from all these lives trying to comfort your white guilt. White guilt is so dangerous. I don't care if it's left or right. It is so dangerous. It's not doing anything. If you could acknowledge or understand inherent racism and everything else, unpack it. Stop trying to get validation or devaluate what it is from creators. Instead, work on what you have internally. Like that's all you need to do. And if there was any live you should have been recording, it should have been this one, because Peaches cooked you. Not that this is about cooking anyone. It's about education. And we can thankfully, hopefully, get back to the topic at hand. Thank you, Santana.
Yep. Hey, Thomas, I sent you an invite. Come up here and tell me about it, bud. Peach, floor is yours.
I just wanted to say thanks for letting me come up, and I'm always glad to talk to you. I haven't met Hector, so it's nice to kind of get to meet you, Hector.
He's okay, Peach. Peach, he's kind of overrated. Like, yeah, I mean, he's okay, but he's a lot overrated. So there's that. And also, he's bald. So
the cutest thing was when you were like, I guess I'm fine with Hector, and he unmuted for just a second. He was like, you don't like me.
I give him a hard time all the time. Hector's a great person, like an individually great person.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm always glad to help whenever you need, if there's any way that I can help. So thanks for letting me come up.
Absolutely. You know, you're always welcome. I appreciate you. Guys, Debbie's in the chat for Gucci. Gucci sent a $5 donation saying, I hate the pretentious, apologetic, respectful, or thankful people like Benjamin. It's so icky. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. You know what's sad? It might just be the fact that I've talked to enough people where it's like it doesn't even get to me anymore, and maybe that's not a good thing. But man, you know what? I'm not gonna hold you guys. What I cheer for when I get on this app every single day, and I say like, hey, if you support Donald Trump, get in the box. What I actually hope for each and every time somebody comes up is just that they don't slur and crash out. Like, that's the baseline of what I'm hoping for whenever someone joins my live, or they don't do weird shit. So as long as you don't slur, crash out, or do weird shit, like, you all right. Everything else is just like bonus on top. Anyway, guys, if anyone would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated over on the YouTube. You can send a super chat and I will read that out. Hi, are you a Trump supporter? Winston, are you a Trump supporter?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Good, good, good. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You're kind of hard to hear. I don't know, you sound kind of far away.
Can you hear me better now?
A little bit. Can you say something else for me, please?
Let me see, maybe.
Are you on a Bluetooth?
No, I'm in a speakerphone, actually.
Oh, yeah, you sound kind of far away or kind of low.
All right, let me try to bring this up. Let me see. What about now?
Yeah, a lot better. Give me 1 second, though. Debbie's in the chat for Sean. Sean sent a $5 super chat to say, yes, the famous GOP battle cry. How is that racist? Unexamined life is wasted. Debbie's in the chat for Sean. Sean, thank you so much for that super chat. All right, Winston, do you feel like Trump played you?
Not at all.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, not at all, actually. You know, I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I'm a Latino, born in Nicaragua, raised in Puerto Rico. I've been in the States for the last, since the 90s. So I'm a Republican. I've been a Republican for the last, 25 years or so. But I haven't, I'm giving them a chance. You know what I mean? I'm not, Trump lover or one of those crazy, people that, anything that Trump does, it don't matter. You know what I mean? I'm not that one type of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do have a little bit of common sense. Yeah. But I see a lot of his stuff that in my personal opinion, I hope it works. Whatever he's doing, I hope it works for all of us. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we'll take care of our family and make sure our kids are doing better than we did,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
which, like, on its face, I can understand where you're coming from, but like it's a bigger problem. That question for you: how long have you had the ability to vote?
For a while.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for a while.
Who'd you vote for in 2020?
Trump.
Who'd you vote for in 2016?
Trump.
Okay, so you triple Trump, and you say you had to give him a chance. Like, I understood people Not really, but I gave them more grace when it came to like what they said in 2016 when it was like, oh, this is something new and we haven't, you know, gotten to know him and da 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 da. But like after his first administration, after running for 9 years and all this other stuff, like I think we know exactly who he is, what he's about, and he has a track record which he's continued to play to his track record. So I'm just trying to understand, I guess the first question I have, and I'm sure you get this all the time, but as a Latino man and Donald Trump specifically targeting people from the quote unquote southern border, right? We understand that being Latino, there's a huge difference between between being someone that is, black or white when it comes to being Latino. A lot of people that are not like black Latino, the ones that present as white, tend to fall in line and feel safe and comfortable due to the deportation efforts because they have the ability to present and they're not the first ones that's picked out. How can you be okay with someone specifically targeting Latino people as a whole and speaking to what he wants to do with them? Like, how do you feel about that? Thank you for the corgi.
Thank you for the corgi. I haven't been targeted at all. I've been stopped by the cops a lot of times. Mm-hmm. I'm dark. I'm not light skinned. You know what I mean? I'm not,
you sure
white.
That?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this you in your profile picture?
Yeah, that's me in the profile picture. Yeah. I'm not white. You know what I mean? You can't say, when you see me, you're not going to say, yeah.
I see what you're saying. It depends on, there's some angles where you look white passing, but then I think it's the angle and the lighting, but I get what you're saying. Like,
yeah, I'm not white, blue eyes, anything like that. I'm just,
you wouldn't be the first person that they grab, but they would definitely grab you, but you wouldn't be the first. Like, but anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like specifically, people that look similar. What's funny is like, I have this conversation quite often. I'm black, right? I'm not Latino at all, but a lot of times I prefer to go to like Latino barbers. Like they hook me up. But I can walk into like a Latino barbershop and like I don't speak Spanish at all, but I look just like everyone in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Right. And so again, a lot of people not knowing that, they would think, oh, he's Latino as well. But like the point being is, these people look like me. And even though I'm just a normal black person from America, like the normal people, the people that's like racially profiling, which the Supreme Court has given credence to racial profiling, like they would just grab us all, right? It's wild. And I don't understand how you can be good with that.
There's the way you're making it seem like they're stopping everybody and they're just, picking up people from because you look, they're not. I mean,
they literally are.
I'm out here in the streets.
Yeah.
They're not doing that in here.
No, they literally are.
I'm out here and maybe it's not my state, in Michigan, they're not doing it like that.
Yeah, that's because you got a governor on it that doesn't play that shit.
And I got a lot of people in New York. I got a lot of people everywhere else, and they are doing raids. They are stopping people, but they're not stopping everybody out there. You guys acting like they're just stopping you because you look like a Latino, and they're just stopping you and picking you up.
Did you know that like over the last 10 years, ICE has detained 120 American citizens? Like prior to this year, 120. And as of a month ago, I got to go back and check the numbers because I know people said the numbers have gone up. But since under the Trump administration, in just a 10-month span, ICE had detained 170 American citizens. So
now that's always happened over here in Michigan.
No. Listen to what I just said.
But listen, man.
No.
My mother-in-law.
Stop for 2 seconds. Stop for 2 seconds and listen to it one more time.
Yeah.
In a 10-year span, there were 120 American citizens detained by ICE prior to the Trump administration. During this current Trump administration, not the first one, this current one, there's been over 170 detained. That's a 50-person total difference, with over 9 years difference. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying, but it could be a lot of different reasons too. It could be non-compliance. I mean, if they stop you and they're asking you for your paperwork and you're giving it to them and then they arrest you, they're still taking you. Yeah, that's wrong. But if you're not complying and then you're acting like you're all hard, you're not gonna, give them none of your paperwork, and they take your ass. That's on you.
But why should you have to? Like, why as an American citizen, why should I? If someone stops and says like, "Hey, show me your papers," I'm an American citizen. I know I'm an American citizen. I'm gonna say, "Fuck off." Like, why wouldn't I?
I know what you're saying. I know, but if they're asking you comply, then you just go on with your day, and that's it. That's all it is to it. You go on.
You know what's funny? Have you ever heard of stop and frisk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a lot of my friends in New York. They used to mess with them.
Yeah. And like that was a gateway. Like that was carte blanche for like police to overly police and harass Black and brown people specifically.
Correct. Yeah.
But my point being is that not only did it have negative impacts when it came to the presumption of guilt when it comes to Black and brown people, but the escalations that occurred from stop and frisk, and then also the mental trauma that still persists today from stop and frisk. I say all that to say, without probable cause, people should not have to be stopped and said, hey, show me your papers. Like, if you're just walking down the street and speaking Spanish, like that doesn't require someone to say, stop and show me your papers. I mean, this is not Schnazi Germany, even though like this administration might want it to be. Like, that's not where we live. And I don't understand people that like, I get, right, if you are stopped in a car because you're speeding and they say, hey, license, registration, blah, blah, blah. Or even if you are doing something shady, but like just walking down the street, I can't get with that.
No, and I get your point too. I mean, I know what you're saying, and it can go, completely wrong and everything else. But so what is what will be your goal for immigration then?
Well, I think my goal for immigration is different than everyone's goal for immigration, because while I am a leftist, and I even look at myself as a social democrat, my ideas as far as immigration is completely more extreme than anyone else like that's holding my position, or most people on the left. I don't give a fuck about people coming into the country. I mean, like, that's just me. I think like borders are arbitrary. I think that like this used to be Turtle Island, and the premise that like, oh, we have to protect this country and keep people from coming in, like, it's all stupid, right? I mean, we can talk about the fact that the United States is one of the only countries that has not had the massive birth rate drop, but that's because we're supplementing it with immigration. We can talk about the additions that immigration adds to our economy. Even when it comes to documented versus undocumented, it's still overwhelmingly a benefit when it comes to adding the economy. You could talk about the human aspect of it, where people are literally traveling hundreds of thousands of miles in order to actually try to make a better life for themselves. Or we can talk about the broken process when it comes to like legal immigration, like how long it takes for people to be able to gain access to citizenship, to get into the country, like all of those things. Play a factor into it. But for me, I don't really give a shit about people coming to the country.
All right. So do you think we had a problem with the underbiting? I mean, did you think there was too many immigration, policies that was run underbiting, or do you think that, he was doing okay with those, open borders and everything else, the way they were coming in?
I think Joseph Robinette Biden handled the border better than Donald Trump.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The reason why I say that, though, is if you take a look at what Donald Trump did, one, you could talk about the actual deportation rate, right? And Joe Biden deported at a higher level than Donald Trump, right, currently. And there's caveats to that. The reason why those, because like Donald Trump is sending people to concentration camp for free slave labor. So there's that. But even more, Donald Trump isn't taking the actual process of deportation versus what Joe Biden did or what Obama did. But if you take a look at the numbers prior to the pandemic, Donald Trump was underwater when it came to immigration, right? I mean, there were people coming into the country at large amounts or large numbers, and he was so desperate to try to figure out something with the border because he couldn't get funding for the border wall. So he ended up pulling money from the Army Engineer Corps in order to try to build the wall, which, you know, still built like what, 5 miles, which isn't much. And if it wasn't for Title 42 in the pandemic, Donald Trump would have been even worse with, undocumented immigrants coming into the country.
All right. Do you think the border's secure right now?
No.
You don't think the border's secure right now?
Mm-mm.
Oh, why is that?
He hasn't passed any type of legislation that addresses the border.
Do you know how many people pass through it right now?
I know what Donald Trump says, but even when you look at the CPB numbers, that's not accurate. Donald Trump says we haven't had any undocumented immigrants coming across in 7 months. Even CPB doesn't say that. CPB touts like a reduction in people coming across the borders, but it definitely doesn't say no one has come across. But also, a question for you. If Donald Trump has not actually implemented any policy to actually address the border, then how has he decreased border crossings?
Because we got the military up there.
The military's been there.
No,
seriously. There were more military troops at the border under.
You know how I know
there's
not. You know how I know there's not too many Latinos coming through here, because I know them. I know the people.
You know,
and I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is.
You know all the Latino people coming in?
No, I know the people. I know. Trust me. I know that is really low right now. For them to cross right now, they're not even attempting them to.
I'm not saying that border crossings aren't down. I'm saying, do you know why or how?
Why? Because they know coming over here right now will be too hard for them. It's not even
hard. How? What do you mean? Be specific.
Because they know with the policy with the Trump being in office right now, it's not going to be as easy to come over here with than when Biden.
What do you mean though? Like you're kind of hitting around it, right? You're dancing around it, and I'm with you.
As far as getting a job. Getting a job out here, knowing that they can get picked up anytime right now because it's really hard.
Getting warmer.
Yeah, exactly. That's why a lot of the Latinos, they're not coming over here. And that's why the Latinos, they're not coming over here no more.
But no. And then what? When they pick you up, then what?
You get sent back.
No, you don't.
What do you mean?
You and I just told you that Donald Trump is deporting people at a lower rate than Joe Biden and Barack Obama. He's not sending people back to where they came from.
They're sending them back right now. I don't know where you get in those. I know a lot of people have got sent back already. Don't worry. Look, my circle, my friends in my circle, I say about 80% of them don't have papers.
Okay.
Good friends of mine.
How large is your circle?
How large is my circle? I say about.
Is your circle millions?
No, it's probably about 40, 45.
Okay, so do you think the 40, 45 people is the representation of all undocumented immigrants?
It's a good representation.
How?
A good representation because it's my Latino community is what we see. They live in the hood. They live around their community. We know what we're talking about.
I guess my bigger thing is like, this is the problem that I have when people say like, oh, it's what I see, right? The problem I have with that is like, unless you're omnipresent, then what you see is limited, right? Like right now, what I see is my computer screens. I see my camera. I can see the comments on TikTok. I can look over. I can see the comments on YouTube. And then I see my dope ass solo leveling poster in front of me. I have no idea what's going on like behind me or even outside. So the scope as far as like what you see is limited. And so that's why like I haven't been outside yet today. I woke up this morning, I made coffee and I started my live. So I don't know if it's cold. I don't know if it's raining. I don't know if it's sunny. Like I can look at, I can guess, but I don't know. I can guess based off of like history, or I can actually pull up the weather and give like actual information about the weather, even though I haven't been there. So the point that I'm making is that like having a premise as far as what you can see is super limited. And even more so, you want to have some type of facts, information, or data to support your claim. So if I say, oh, it's raining outside, my claim would be backed by the history that it's been raining for the last couple of days. It was projected to rain today, and looking at the actual weather for today, it's scheduled to rain from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. and it's 11:41 right now. So.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just, my opinion, in my opinion as a Latino, I think the last 4 years had got carried away. We've been debating this same issue, immigration, for the last 25 years.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
You know what I mean? I think if we overdoing it, whether, for me, the way I see it, whether they're going to go secure the border, get rid of everybody, whatever they're going to do, just do whatever you're going to do and let's get over with it. And I don't want to hear about it no more. You know what I mean? I want to move on, and, I don't want to be talking about immigration, saying bull crap, that everybody promised Latinos this. Obama promised us, paper. They was going to give Latino paper, citizenship path, and nothing happened with Obama. And a lot of Latinos voted for Obama because of that. And nothing happened under Obama. You know what I mean? It just, I just want this issue to be solved and, and done and over with. You know what I mean? That's my thing.
I agree. Let me read one thank you off, and then I want to go back to where we just were, because I feel like we missed an opportunity to really hammer on something. And I think this may actually like shift your mindset, right? Debbie's in the chat for Yardra, who sent a $5 donation saying, you look Dominican and Black American and handsome on top of it. LOL. Thank you so much, Yadra. I really appreciate the 5. And yeah, I've heard that before, but no, just black, blackity black. W's in the chat for Yardra. Guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Also, if you're watching over on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We should definitely have as many likes as we have viewers. So if you're watching over on the tube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If we're watching here on TikTok, let's get the likes up. We should be at like at least 150,000 likes. Let's get the likes up. Also, can we knock out the donuts? It's the daily gift goal. Please, please, please. Can we knock out the daily gift goal? And last but not least, only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We're only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you're not a Trump supporter. We're not talking to friendlies. All right, Winston. The reason why I said Donald Trump, I agree that Donald Trump has enacted things that has lessened the migration of people coming into the country, but it hasn't been any direct policy. It's all based on cruelty. And when I say it's based on cruelty, I mean that Donald Trump is violating human rights of undocumented immigrants and constitutional rights and of undocumented and U.S. citizens. And that has landed the United States on a human rights watch list, right? We've been placed on a human rights watch list because of Donald Trump sending undocumented immigrants to places like Alligator Alcatraz or CCOT, right, for free slave labor. And that also impacts the actual deportation rate. Deportation rate is counted based off of sending people back to the countries where they came from. And Donald Trump, again, is selling people into slave labor and sending them to other countries that they did not come from. And so with all of this being said, other countries are warning their citizens, hey, don't go into the US. And then on top of warning other citizens not to go into the US, they're also like tourism is down as a whole. People aren't coming to the country because of the way that not only they're treating undocumented immigrants, but treating tourists, treating people, period. And so you see places like Las Vegas, who's lost over $85 billion this year due to a drop in tourism, but other cities, other like tourist hotspots like Los Angeles and New York, all of these places are seeing like massive reductions in tourism and the tourism revenue because of the Trump administration and what they're actually doing to undocumented immigrants.
All right, but that's I don't think that's have to do anything about immigration policy, about the economy, about people visiting in here. I think not just
literally it is. I mean, I believe, there's actually direct information to it.
I think that everybody just broke and they don't feel like traveling right now. That's all.
No, that's not true. That's literally not true. There's not only is there's actual data. There's actual data backing up the fact. Tourism has to do with the people coming outside of the country into the country. And so when you talk about the actual when you talk about the actual financial state of the U.S., that doesn't reflect the financial state of the rest of the world. Again, you have like Canada. Canada is one of the largest countries when it comes to tourism into the U.S. and also trade. Donald Trump's trade policies with Canada has negatively impacted what they import and what they buy, American-based products, but they've also specifically been, they've specifically been boycotting coming into the country. And so a lot of those Canadians actually boost the U.S. economy through tourism. So again, it's all directly connected. It's not about, oh, people are broke. It's because like people have literally gone on the record and said it's because of the Trump administration, their policies, their trade policies, and actual governments are saying, hey, don't go into the US. Did you know that certain, the United States now is requiring certain people when they travel into the US to give 5 years of social media history in order to be considered to be let into the US?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Like,
heard that. Yeah.
we're getting to the point where,
yeah, I think we're getting to that
like
point.
it's more, it's not even worth coming into the country.
Yeah, but that's, I think in that part, I think we're getting more into a digital type of market that everybody gonna have out there. You know what I mean? I think that's gonna go worldwide for everybody. You know what I mean? They're gonna want to see, you know, everything's gonna be digital. You know, they're gonna want to see kind of like China, what China doing right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everything
but
is
it's not about that. It's about control.
But I know, but they're trying to control all of us, regardless. You know what I mean? Everybody. That's something that's going to happen regardless. You know what I mean?
Wait, so you're saying that we should just accept it?
Well, it's not like we're going to accept it. They're going to push it in that against all of us, Democrats, Republicans, you know, anybody, even in the middle. You know what I mean? It don't matter. That's in their path for them to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think we should. I don't think we should just kowtow to fascism and authoritarians. Like, I think we absolutely should not just accept it. Did you know one of the key principles of an authoritarian regime being able to implement their ideology is getting consent from the current, not necessarily the voter base, but the current society, right? In order for authoritarians to be able to do the hateful shit that they want to do, they have to get the buy-in from the people. And so with people negatively pushing back on these ideals and the different things that authoritarians are trying to do, it keeps them from being able to implement that. That's why, like, even when you talk about like Hitler and his the actual point that he took with World War II, right? He had Goebbels, who was a propagandist for him, who literally spent his time trying to explain, like, oh, Germany's winning, we're doing such a great job, blah, 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 pumping out propaganda. And then they also sent spies out to listen to the people within Germany to see how they were responding to the propaganda and to make sure that, you know, people were being receptive. And as soon as people stopped falling for the propaganda, that's when they got in trouble. And that's when they could no longer justify like the actual things they were doing. So again, like us just sitting back and saying, well, you know, this is the way of the world and we should accept it. That's absolutely not true. And we absolutely should not accept authoritarians or fascist regimes.
Have you fly out of the country? Have you been? Okay, where you been?
Different places.
Different places. Okay. And you don't, when you go through their immigration process, have they give you any issues or anything at all?
It just depends on where I'm going. You know what, immigration, you know, it's funny, going through customs in other countries is a lot simpler than coming back into the US. And I have global entry, right? So coming back into the US should be a streamlined, quick and easy process. It's funny, I was traveling with my family one time, and one of the people had grabbed a sandwich in the airport before we left. We were in fuck, where were we? I think we were in Madrid. Anyway, grabbed a sandwich in the airport and then stuck the sandwich in their bag. And then when we got back, they told customs, it was like, oh, sorry, got this sandwich. Did you know we sat in customs for like 2 hours for that goddamn sandwich? But like, it's fucking stupid. But the point being, right, is the actual process when it comes to people screening in other countries, when you go in through customs, it's a lot easier. It's a lot simpler. but also they make it easier. Like when it comes to becoming a citizen, I'll use Spain again specifically for the example. There's a process that you can go through with Spain where like you can get like a nomad visa, and it goes for 3 years, and then you can renew it for another 2 years, and then after you've had it for 5 years, you can officially become a Spanish citizen, right? Versus, and I think like in total, like you can do it yourself, but if you want to pay someone to do it, it's like $5,000, right? $5,000, that's out of pocket. It covers you for, that entire time. And even then you get access to their universal health care, all these things, right? Versus like when here in the US, it takes 15 to 20 years for people to become a citizen. You're constantly trying to reestablish your green card, and you're going to the like court hearings, and like you're paying exorbitant fees. Like people pay $20,000-$30,000 to become a United States citizen. I say all that to say, like, we have the ability to make the process quicker, safer, and smoothly done, but we're actively choosing not to.
It takes 5 years to become an American citizen.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. How are you going to tell me that?
Because the actual process, takes longer than 5 years, and it depends. The actual process for becoming a United States citizen is one, depending on what country you're coming from, two, what process you're actually going through, and three, the actual individual. So when you can talk about your individual experience, again, it's kind of like what I said about whether you go outside and you can see, what's in front of you. But then also, it depends on when you did it.
50 years. Give me an example of somebody that that it took them 10 to 15 years.
I don't have to give an example of an individual person. I got you. Don't worry. Hold on a second. All right. So let's see here. This comes from the American Immigration Council. And depending on the actual process that you take, I'm sorry, this comes from USCIS, and then also it correlates with the American Immigration Council, and it's the 10 steps to naturalization, right? And so it depends on how you plan on becoming, whether you are someone that is looking for a green card, if you are looking for a naturalization process, or are you looking to receive what is this called? It's an individual green card, depending on circumstances. Anyway, long story short, being able to gain that citizenship and those different types of forms, you have to be, in order to become a lawful permanent resident green card holder, you have to be in the country and be in the country for at least 5 years and married to a United States citizens for at least 3 years before you can even start the process. So
but I'm not talking
like you have to clear that hurdle before you go through that process. If you want to be naturalized,
I'm talking about naturalized after you become.
Yeah, naturalized. It says here it adds on another 2 years before you can actually go through the process of being naturalized. So that's 7 years already. And then if you actually want to receive, depending on other types of workload visas and things like that, it can add another 3 to 6 years. So depending on what type of citizenship that you're trying to get, in order to even be able to apply, not actually gain it, to be able to apply, some people can take up to 11 years before they can start the process.
You're talking about permanent, you're talking about resident. I'm talking about being a citizenship after you've been already, you had your green card holder.
I just said, we're talking about citizenship. We're talking about citizenship.
Citizenship, when you're saying citizenship is, you can only become citizen after 5 years after you have your green card. You have to have your green card, and 5 years later.
That's what we were talking about, bud. We were talking about becoming citizens.
You're talking about the whole process before that. And I mean, right now, I know people that be married with American, with a citizen person, that they can even get their papers. You know what I mean? That really doesn't matter.
I think you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying being granted temporary status. I'm talking about citizenship. I'm talking about citizenship, actually becoming a citizen of the United States of America. Now, when you talk about temporary status, we understand that temporary status can be removed for multiple things, right? That's a completely different ball game when we talk about like temporary status. Hell, the actual United States government is pulling people temporary status just because, you know, shits and giggles or shiggles, as I always say, like they want to do it. But again, the point that I'm getting to is the permanent citizenship, which the permanent citizenship can range anywhere from 5 to 11 years before you can even apply for permanent citizenship to become a U.S. resident, to be someone like you, Winston, that actually can vote in United States elections.
Yeah, well, resident and citizenship are two different things.
It is, but again,
yeah, two different things.
But
so
again,
what I was talking about, after you become a, you know, resident, it takes 5 years before you can become a citizen.
Yeah. Again, even if you are a resident, of the point that I'm making is like the Trump administration themselves actively are pulling people's residency. Like there was a student at Columbia who had his green card pulled because he said free Palestine. Right. Yeah. I mean, this administration is literally putting the kibosh on multiple people being able to stay within the United States just because they are utilizing the First Amendment right that gives them the ability to, you know, actively say, like, I don't like what's happening with the federal government. But the point that I'm trying to make is you sitting here talking about temporary status or temporary residency is not the same as citizenship. And that's why I didn't mention temporary residency, because again, it can be pulled for any reason. Like that's a moot point.
Yeah. Either way, man, you're a smart guy, man. You know, first time I'm listening to you, I like what you're saying. You got a lot of data on you. You know, you're pretty good smart. At the end of the day, man, I hope the best for all of us. You know what I mean? Whether you're Latino, you're black, you're white, you're, you know, Chinese, whatever it is, man, I hope the best for all of us, man.
That's the thing, and I do too, but like the difference is what we're doing for each other, right? Like I'm actively voting for what is best for you.
I know,
but you're voting against people like us, me and you.
I'm not voting against you. I'm not voting against. I'm voting what I believe it could do better for me. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Kamala would have a better option for me. You know what I mean? But that's you know, we can go on and off all day long about that, and you know, we can agree to disagree. You know what I mean? What I believe, you know what I mean, and I hope I'm not wrong, that you know, Trump does better, economy get better. We finally, you know, can take care of this immigration shit that will be going on for the last 30 years, and nobody has been able to do anything about it. You know,
I have a question for you. I have a question for you, because you just made the statement that you think that Trump is doing better than what Kamala would have done. And my question to you is, like, what did you hear from Donald Trump that made you believe he had any type of positive plan for immigration and undocumented immigrants outside of him saying deportation? Because saying that you agree with mass deportation, then there's nothing that he said that would actually make you believe that he had any type plan.
Free, secure borders.
He hasn't done that.
And we can talk about, you know, anything else we're going to do after that. But the first thing we got to do is secure our borders. That was the main thing.
And he hasn't done that.
Yeah, he has. You can say borders are a lot secured than.
And how did he secure the border?
Nobody coming through. Nobody coming through.
Why are border crossings? Why are border crossings down?
Because nobody wants to come through, because they already know it's going to be really hard for them to be here.
What is the Trump administration doing to undocumented immigrants?
They're deporting them.
No, they're not. You keep parroting these same points, but hold on, give me a second, Winston, because Winston, give me a second, because okay, I'm gonna mute you because I need you to listen to me, because I don't know if you didn't listen to this point the first time, or you're willfully skipping over it, or if you got reset to factory settings and so you're back to what you were saying before. I need you to like listen to this one. Donald Trump is utilizing ICE to detain undocumented immigrants and then sending them to concentration camps for free slave labor. He's not deporting people because deportation requires him to send them back to the country that they came from. He's sending people to other countries and selling them to their governments or their prison system for free slave labor. So that's why he's not deporting people, and that's why people aren't coming into the country. Winston, I need you to respond to that one for me, please.
All right, I understand what you're saying. Either way, people's not coming through. Whether you're saying they got them in campsites and they're
you're good with that, Winston?
Either way.
Wait, Winston, just to verify, are you good with that?
I'm good for people not coming through.
You're good with sending people to concentration camps and then selling them off for free slave labor.
That's your belief.
No, that's not my belief. That's literally what's happening.
That's your belief. That's your belief.
Winston.
That's what you said. Because
hold on, stop for a second. Listen to me for a second. I promise you, I'm not telling you what I believe. I'm telling you what is actually proven.
Proven by who?
Proven by the actual places these people are being deported to, and then also proven by the United States legal system. Did you know that there was just a ruling? Because Donald Trump has been sending people to CCOT. Do you know what CCOT is?
Yeah, in El Salvador.
Okay. Yeah, Donald Trump has been sending people to CCOT, and a federal judge just ruled that Donald Trump has to have all of those people that were sent to CCOT returned to the United States.
Okay.
So even the legal system is saying that Donald Trump is sending them to these concentration camps for free slave labor, and he's not supposed to be doing so.
Yeah, C camp is not a concentration labor. That's a jail.
CCOT is a notorious, well-known prison that actually tortures people. It's a torture prison. It's a concentration camp, and just like Alligator Alcatraz is a concentration camp as well.
All right. Well, that's your belief. You know what I mean? I don't think that's fact. You know what I mean? I think that's
okay. Why do you say it's not fact?
Salvador, the jail in Salvador. You know why they started there, right?
No. Why do you say no? I don't want you to do that. I want you to tell me why what I'm saying is my belief and not a fact.
It's your belief. You believe
sure,
in
tell
these
me
places
about it.
because you believe in these places are concentration camp. Because there's no fact that. Do you know that they got them working or they got them doing anything else? They're not supposed to.
Are people tortured, beaten, and even unalived in CCOT?
No.
Yes, they are.
They're not.
Okay, cool. Based off of what? Why are you saying that they aren't?
They're not. That's just
sure. But why? Besides the fifis in your tum tum, where are you getting information saying that people aren't mistreated in CCOT?
That's just a tough jail there Salvador had because of the gang problem they had. You know how bad Salvador was? I've been to El Salvador. You know how bad it was in the 90s and 2000? You know how bad it was? You couldn't even go outside without getting killed. You know what I mean? You know how safe it is right now? Because
yeah.
So
this is what I'm going to do because like this is what you're sitting here and you're actually going off the fifis in your tum tum. I genuinely don't care about your fifis. So there's multiple sources documenting the human rights violations, including torture, including unaliving in custodies, including multiple incidents that has occurred in CCOT. And you can take a look at the Human Rights Watch that details the actual breakdown and treatment of people that are sent to CCOT. You can go to, PBS has a great story that was completed on the treatment of people in CCOT, which they did an in-depth interview with not only inmates, former inmates of CCOTs, but actual guards and former workers within CCOT. And it's titled "The Conditions Inside the Infamous El Salvador Prison Where Deported Migrants Are Held." This was actually released in April of this year, April 8th, 2025. Or you can also look at the actual National Immigration Law Center, which tracks the actual disappearances in CCOT, in which just this year alone, there's been 280 disappearances, but there has been 368 people in CCOT that have unalived while in prison. There's also been the reports of torture right? There's been psychological abuse, frequent beatings by guards. They don't get access to food, water, clothing, health care, and multiple things. So again, when I talk about the actual treatment of people while at CCOT, like all of these things are well documented and well known. Now, Winston, you have to come back into the app if you want me to be able to hear you. If you're trying to run, then that's not how you run. But I would love for you to address.
No, I'm not running.
Okay. So can you address the actual documentation from multiple sources as far as the conditions in CCOT and how it's literally a concentration camp?
Yeah. You know, everything you're saying, wow, that's messed up. It's really hard. Now, can you look up how many people was killed in El Salvador all those years? How crime was, how bad crime was in El Salvador those years?
What does that have to do with Donald Trump sending people to CCOT?
No, but you're saying that CCOT is a concentration camp. Even though, you know, it just, I don't know, man. You know,
I'm talking about like this year. I'm not talking about the past history of.
This year alone, him sending them the.
But sure, I'm not talking about the past history of like CCOT. I'm not saying, you know, what was the purpose of originally creating CCOT. I'm not talking about any of those things. I'm talking about currently today what the Trump administration is doing in conjunction with CCOT and people coming from other countries, people that aren't from El Salvador, people coming from other countries, literally being sent to CCOT instead of being sent back to the country that they came from.
Why they being sent over there?
Sorry, say it again.
Why they being sent over there?
Because the Trump administration is selling them into free slave labor. Because
their country they're sending them to, they're supposed to send them to, they don't want them there.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, okay, prove it.
You prove it. You
just made the claim. You prove it.
You're making the claim that
Winston, you just made the claim. Okay, Winston,
you just made the first claim.
This is how it works. You just made the claim that the reason why the Trump administration is sending people to CCOT is because their countries don't want them. That's your claim. Cool. I'll accept your claim, but you have to prove it. So I need you to go get a source showing me that the reason why they're being sent to El Salvador is because their countries won't accept them. That was your claim. I didn't make those claims. That's not my claim. That's your claim. So you have to prove it. I am literally challenging your claim. You can do that. Gary, are you there? You have to swipe back into the app in order to be able to hear me, or for anyone to hear you. Gary, you have to come back into the app. Gary. I think he's trying to run. He was in the comments yapping, and I muted him and then sent him an invite to come up. And he came up, and there we go. All right, I'm going to send you an invite to unmute.
You got it?
Yep. You were spamming like Trump whatever in the comments, and
yeah, Trump MAGA. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, before we get too far, like, what's the point of that?
Well, I don't see what is the problem with it.
I mean, it's just weird. You don't think so?
No, not at all. I mean, what I think is weird is defense of migrants that have come over here illegally, and then they're being sent back. You the other day you had you and your constituent had a presentation over children that were being touched by ICE.
Who's my constituent? What do you mean?
It was whoever you had on there. You had somebody on there with you.
Okay. All right.
It was children being touched by ICE, and that was a huge issue.
Okay.
Okay, and you were worried about their rights.
Okay.
But the one thing, what I find strange, is that there's parents in California that are having their rights taken away by the AB 1955, and there's not a problem with that. They're allowing
AB 1955.
Well, it's where their rights are being taken away for kids that think they are trans, and they're allowing their operations.
Okay, so
if you look it up,
AB California's AB 1955, also known as the Safety Act, support academic futures and education of today's youth. It's a 2024 law protecting LGBTQ plus students by banning forced outings policies, which require school staff to disclose a student's gender identity or sexual orientation to parents without consent. It prohibits schools from mandating such disclosures and protections of staff. Hold on, I'm still reading.
Taking the parents' rights away.
Listen,
dude.
Stop for a second. Let me finish. It requires staff. I'm sorry. Cut me off. I'm going to start back here. It's a 2024 law protecting LGBTQ plus students by banning forced outings policies, which requires school staff to disclose a student's gender identity or sexual orientation to a parent without consent. It prohibits schools from mandating such disclosure and protects staff retaliation for not doing so, allowing students and families to decide when they have these private conversations while also promoting and supporting environment and resources. All right, so your premise is you are not mad at ICE being able to complete cavity searches of 13-year-olds, but you are upset that California on a state level, not a federal level, California on a state level passed a piece of legislation that allows children to actually decide who they want to know if they're a part of the queer community. That's your problem.
Well, and it's also taking the parents' rights away. That's exactly what they're doing.
How is that taking the parents' rights away?
Well, they've been doing it, and they have been.
No. Be specific. How is it taking the parents' rights away?
By what I just said.
Yeah,
they are taking the parents' rights away from deciding what is done with their children.
How?
Because their kids are being taken down a path to being transgender, making that decision on their own, making that decision on their own. Look, don't interrupt me.
Wrong.
I didn't interrupt you. Don't interrupt me.
No, but you're lying.
No, I've seen you lie a hell of a lot.
That's fine. Sure. You call me out when I lie, but this actual act, that's a state level act, not a federal level act. The only thing that it
doesn't matter. State or federal, it's still wrong.
The only thing that it does is give the protections that does not require these teachers to turn over that information to the parents. It literally gives the students the ability to share that information when they're ready to share that information.
And that is taking the rights away from the parents.
How is that taking the right? What's the right?
Because they should not have that hidden from them.
Sure.
From what is being taught, discussed
Gary,
with
I'm willing
children.
I'm willing to accept that, but you have to tell me what specific right, like what right, be very specific.
The right that you have with your child. That's your child, and anything
what
that has
is the
to do,
right? You're talking around it, Gary. I want you to tell me. Okay, listen, this is how you talk
I'm
about
not
rights.
talking around
no,
it.
No, you are. Listen, hold on. I want you to
No,
listen.
I'm not, dude. No, I'm not.
This is how you actually tell me. So with the actual passing of bump stocks, right? The ban of bump stocks, Donald Trump infringed on people's Second Amendment right, the right to bear arms, right? That's how you tell me like what right specifically was infringed on. Now, your premise is by California passing this piece of legislation, it's infringing on the rights of parents. I need you to tell me which specific right is being infringed on by California passing this legislation. I sent you a request to unmute. Go ahead and tell me the specific right, Gary. Thank you for the galaxy. Gary, you have to accept the request to unmute. Gary, I know it's safe and easy for you to sit there and pretend as if you don't see the request to unmute because you don't have a point, but I need you to unmute and engage. Gary, don't run. There we go.
No, I'm not running. I'm not running at all. There ain't no shame in this game, son.
Sure. Tell me the specific right, Gary.
The right that is given there, that has been for years.
Sure, anytime that's fine. I'm willing to accept it, but tell me the right.
That's it. That's right. It's a God-given right that I have. Yes,
There's
it is.
no,
Sure it is.
there's no
Sure
quote
it is.
unquote
And
God-given
it's not
right.
decided by some leftist bullshit.
Gary, so are you trying to say that it's a
in
God-given right
California,
for
a
you
bunch
to
of-
know? It's a God-given right
Absolutely.
for your children not to have privacy. That's what you're saying.
California saw reason to pass a law for it. It is like that if that was to happen in the state of Florida, I can guarantee you there would be a lawsuit. Guarantee you.
Okay. And that's
And
why you
that would
talk
be a
about
right.
like state rights, right? But again, you don't have a God-given right to
Sure I do.
not have,
But
or your
you
kids
don't
do
see
not
a
have
problem.
privacy.
You do not see a problem with that issue, though.
I don't see a problem
kids being
with people
cavity
having
searched,
privacy.
But it's okay to take my child while they're at school, supposed to be getting an education, and let them talk about choosing their gender, and then also going forth with
the fuck
possibly
does that have to
operations.
do? Okay, really quick, Gary, just to make sure you understand what you're saying, because I don't think you can hear the stupid shit that you're saying, but I want you to make sure, listen, I want you to hear this back. You are equating children having the privacy to decide whether they tell someone about their gender preference or their sexual orientation. You're equating that to ICE agents giving unaccompanied minors cavity searches. That's what you're equating those things to. You're saying those two things are directly correlated. That's what you're saying, Gary. I need you to come back into the app. If you're off the app, we can't hear you. Gary, why do you keep swiping out?
I'm not swiping. I got a new phone. Maybe it hit my face. I don't know. Are you there?
I'm here, but Gary, don't do the weird stuff. I
do you
know
mean?
how Trump supporters like to report when they're getting cooked. All right, so
No. I'm not
do the
getting
weird
cooked.
stuff.
I'm not getting cooked. You're self-proclaimed champion in your little field, but
Sure,
I'm
that's
telling
fine.
you now.
What did I just say about the two things?
Well, look, I'm going to respond to it. If you just
but what did I actually say? I want to make sure you heard what I said.
Because you're saying that I'm trying to equate the state law in California to having a body search for a child is the same thing.
That's not exactly what I said. No, but it's
sure
close.
It is.
I'll give a quick recap.
Well,
you're trying to equate children having privacy to make a decision when and where they share their gender or sexual orientation to ICE being able to cavity search undocumented children, unaccompanied minors. You're good with that. That's what you're equating.
They do more than just take them aside and have conversations. They're going through with
based off
the
of what
operations.
Based off of what information?
There's been kids that have already talked about it. It's already out there.
Can you cite any type of source? Can you cite any type of source that
I haven't heard you cite shit about the cavity searches. Where'd you get your source?
Yeah, I literally told you that I'm sitting here reading this information about AB 955, and this comes directly from the Los Angeles County Office of Education.
But the cavity
and it's also
searches,
cross-references.
That's some bullshit that you brought up.
It's not. You brought that up, but also that's that's a bill.
Searches on the kids from ICE. That's all horseshit.
It's literally a bill. It's HR 4371. So you can try to sit here and obfuscate all you want to. Now, what I need you to do, right, is I need you to actually give me some type of source, some type of information that tells me that AB 955, right? AB 955 is
1955.
1955, sorry. 1955 is something that go get a source that's telling me that they're teaching these kids.
I don't need to get you a source, dude. It's conversation.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute you until you actually go get a source, because at this point, you're just a babbling idiot. You're literally just up here saying things that are coming from the feelings that you have in your stomach. You don't even get the fifis. It's just your feelings. So until you actually provide some type of source that backs up what you're saying, then I don't want to hear anything that you're saying. Because at this point, you're just spreading misinformation and you're spreading ignorance and hate. So go get a source to back up the things that you're saying. Winston, do you have a source? Winston? Winston, do you have a source? Winston, are you hiding quietly? You're not on mute, bud. You're here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay, yeah. For some reason, I was on mute.
No, you weren't.
Oh, I must have muted myself.
No, you didn't. We can see when you're muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was weird because I just pressed unmute and then I came in.
Mm.
Well, no, I don't have a source. Yeah, I don't have a source,
Okay, so if you don't have a source, then maybe you should stop saying what you were saying, right? I mean, if you don't have a source directly citing that the reason why these people are being sent to other countries is because their country won't accept them, then maybe you shouldn't say that.
Okay, all right. I've stopped saying that until I get my source. Yeah. I just haven't seen nobody else from other country getting sent to setback. I mean,
did you know that Donald Trump actually got the story pulled from 60 Minutes that was covering the actual process that the Trump administration is going through with deportation through El Salvador?
No.
Yeah, that was supposed to air Sunday night on 60 Minutes, and an hour before it was supposed to air, it got pulled from the air. Oh, not Gary running. Oh, Gary. Oh, poor little poop poop. Poor little poop poop. Anyway, so the story was supposed to air on 60 Minutes, and an hour before it was supposed to air, it was pulled off the air because Donald Trump apparently has been given a kill switch by CBS, where if he feels like any story is something that's going to be harmful towards him or his administration, then he can actually have the story pulled, right? And that's exactly what happened with the 60 Minute story. Now, you know what's funny about all of this? Before 60 Minutes actually pulled it from US airwaves, it was sent to international partners. So it still actually went out in like places like Canada. And you know what Canada did? Canada made it public for everyone. So they republished it so you can actually still see that 60 Minute story, which completely details the way that Donald Trump has been going about deporting undocumented immigrants to concentration camps for free slave labor, including what they're doing in CCOT for El Salvador.
All right. So what's your solution for immigration then?
My solution is that we actually try to find some type, or not try to find, the Trump administration needs to actually pass some type of legislation in order to address immigration. Like literally, the Langford bill was in place under the Biden administration. It was set to be passed, and Donald Trump stepped in and had the kibosh put on the piece of legislation, and it was specifically because they were supposed to be able to pass legislation when Donald Trump got in office. But since being in office, he hasn't done anything to address undocumented immigrants or immigration. He literally just sat there and dumped money into ICE and has not looked to pass any piece of legislation. There needs to be legislation passed. And even more than that, I advocate for mass amnesty. I think mass amnesty is more productive than mass deportation. Like there's a huge difference.
Yeah, no, definitely. We gotta, do amnesty, probably in the next few years. I believe what Trump's doing. This is what I believe. I believe he's securing the border, and I believe
you keep saying that, but you don't have any proof.
Yeah, well, yeah, all right. The border's not secure. Then everybody's coming through. Then everybody's still coming through. Then I mean. Either
Winston,
way,
serious question. Yeah, like you and I have been going in circles with this, and like when I explain
the border,
why do you keep defaulting, going back and saying the thing that I've already disproved?
But listen to me. I believe the border is more secure right now. That's what I believe.
Right, but why do you keep saying the thing that I've already disproved?
All right, I don't think you have proved it. I think you're just going about it, different ways. You're going around it. You're a smart guy. You know what I mean? You're a really smart guy, and you keep reciting stuff and keep going back and forth, and you got your data and you're saying this is that. This is what I believe. I believe the border is more secure. Regardless, the border's got to be secure.
Saying that
we got to secure
you
the
literally
border.
keep saying that, but you're saying this because of your feelings. You're not saying this because of any type of facts or information. You're literally only talking from your feelings.
this is the way I see a path to citizenship for a lot of people up here. The first thing we had to do is secure the border. That's the first thing.
And it's not secure.
All right, then it's not secure. That's the first thing we got to do, though. The first thing we got to do is secure the border
by passing legislation, right?
Either whatever way we got to do it, we got
by passing legislation.
Whatever way it's got to be done, it's got to be done. We just got to secure the border. Once we get the border secure, then we can deal with everybody else that's in here.
Donald Trump has no plan to secure the border, so what does it even matter? Like, you're talking in circles.
Well, that's what you believe. You believe the border's not secure.
What piece of legislation has Donald Trump passed to actually secure the border?
The border's not secure, but I know
what piece, Winston?
The border is secure.
How do you know? How do you know, Winston? How do you know?
I know because I know my people. I know who's crossing and who's not crossing.
You keep saying this, Winston, but you're not providing any actual information.
You know, you keep back in the day,
Winston, fucking stop. You keep saying the same thing, and you're speaking from your feelings, and you're not talking from a place of information. I need you to stop doing that. I need you to stop doing that, because obviously what you feel doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. It does. I promise you, your feelings are not going to provide any types of facts or information. I need you to stand on something. I need you to stand on some type of factual ground that gives you your opinion. So if you're going to sit here and say, the reason why I think the border is secure is because A has been put into place, B has been put in place, C is being done. These are the reasons why the border is now secure. That's how you stand on it. What you're doing is sitting here saying, well, you know, I know people, right? I know 40 people. And since my circle of 40 people, that means that the border is secure. Like literally, I gave you the example of what you can see in front of you, and I can also give you the data for the information that I'm talking about. You have to stop saying, because this is what I see. What you see does not matter. It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm gonna read these off, Winston. When I come back, I'm gonna let you talk to Jeff, but I promise you, you need a source. W's in the chat for MAGA Cries for the $2 donation, saying it's to protect kids from garbage people like you that are willing to physically hurt their children when they come out. That was exactly where I was going with it. We never got to the point of being able to talk about it, but that's literally what's happening. Like, that's why that piece of legislation was put in place. He was just up here to actually spread harm and talk about, like, you know, the transphobia and all this other shit. Like, the reason why California has to protect people from children from their own parents is because parents tend to have visceral reactions when these children say that, hey, you know, I am, you know, my gender is this, I'm sexually attracted to this, like da 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 da. So like that's what it is. Yeah. W's in the chat, massive fucking W's in the chat for Cinda. Hey Cinda, who sent a $50 donation saying, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, always enjoy your knowledge and truth you share with us. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Holy fuck. Thank you so much for the $50. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And W's in the chat for Jose, who sent a $5 donation to say, I finally found you. Keep up the good work, sir. I know you're Parker and Dean's friend, and I appreciate everything that you guys do. Listen, thank you so much for the $5. I really, really appreciate you. W's in the chat for all the donors, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Also, guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes. Last but not least, if you look up at the top and you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. This is the backup account. Hit that follow button, but also follow the main account. We're going to be on the main account later, so make sure that you follow both of them and turn on your notifications. All right, Winston, I'm going to take you off mute, and you're going to be talking to Jeff. I promise you, when you talk to Jeff, please don't talk about your feelings. Actually talk from a place of knowledge and facts.
What up, Winston?
What's going on, Jeff? How you doing today?
So, yeah, where you from?
I'm Nicaraguan.
All right, cool. I'm Dominican.
All right.
So the mi gente thing ain't gonna work with me. Like, if I say it ain't gonna work with you, right?
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Cool. Why do you think the border is secure?
Because I see it in the neighborhood, man. No, nobody's crossing, nobody's coming in.
Where you
Detroit.
You don't have to be specific, like a state is fine.
I'm from Detroit, from Michigan. Where you from?
I'm in Florida, but like,
You're in Florida.
come on.
All right.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Have you seen
You're
anybody
saying
crossing through?
Where do you not see anybody crossing through from Michigan?
I don't see it from Michigan. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Yeah. They're not coming from
You got
Michigan. Yeah. Nobody's coming through Michigan. Yeah.
Correct. That's what you basing your border thing on?
Yeah, I'm basing it around, the community.
Mano, what we doing?
What do you mean, what are we doing?
You got a telescope?
I mean, I don't get what you're trying to say.
Get that one.
Yeah, I mean, what are you trying to say?
Which border? Okay, maybe I'm confused. Which border are you saying is secure?
The Mexican border.
And you seeing this from Michigan?
Yeah, I seen them from Michigan.
How?
What do you think that they're just gonna cross and come to San Antonio?
Were you born? Just out of curiosity, were you born in Nicaragua?
Yeah.
Or were you born on?
Born in Nicaragua, raised in Puerto Rico.
So you weren't born on Krypton?
I mean, what is it that you're getting? I mean, have you seen? Do you live around the Latino community, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see a lot of people coming through? Have you seen in the last 20 years, the community had got bigger or whatever?
Yes.
Did you see immigration come through? How do you see it right now? Do you see it? Do you hear a lot of people coming through?
Yes.
Right now? Oh, you do see it.
Mm-hmm.
You do hear that a lot of people still coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
But that doesn't, but remember, hold on, but remember.
That's you for real. You for real, you're going to say that.
Time out. I'm
For
not
real,
saying, hold on, I am. Hold on.
You're for real going to say that.
Is that the rebuttal?
The Latino community.
Is that the rebuttal, Michigan? Listen, is that the rebuttal? Northern border? Is that the rebuttal? Like, oh, you really see that? I told you, yeah, but I don't care about that. I just want to know, do you have, like, if I say to you, I see it, and I'm closer to the border than you are, I wouldn't expect you to believe me. I'm in Florida. I'm not near the southern border of Mexico. Yeah. Like, I could talk to my people, like, but mind you, Dominicans are much better at getting here than Nicaraguans. Like, that's full stop, right? We are pros at getting over here. Mm-hmm. I just want to know, like, you not. I don't like my people saying embarrassing things. I don't like Latinos saying embarrassing things. You don't expect anybody to believe you that you really believe that you can assess the southern border just by looking out your window in Michigan, right?
No,
you don't really mean that.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that.
Okay, so let's recenter. Let's recenter. You and
all right, go ahead.
Let's take everything about you looking around your neighborhood and throw it out the window. That's gone. Don't say that no more. That's stupid. If I say it is stupid, if you say it is stupid, if we making phone calls around la familia entera, nadie te va a creer. You're not gonna believe me. I'm not gonna believe you, right? All right. Mm-hmm. What else you got other than the stuff we just threw in the trash?
Bro, if you believe that the border's not secure, then the border's not secure. Then the border's open. Then it's still open. Then
I don't look.
Yeah, if you believe the border's not secure, the border's still open. Then the
how do you form your beliefs?
He's in his tum-tum, Jeff. We've already covered that one.
It's not even the fifis in his tum-tum. I want him to say it. I know how you form your beliefs. How do you form your beliefs?
How do you think I form my beliefs? By listening to stupid people or something? Or
I want you to no. You're not listening. No. Yeah. I don't. Look. I'm smarter than the average bear, and I'm Dominican. Like in my genes, I peep everything. I see it like in front of me. Okay. It comes from years of playing dominoes and seeing my uncle hide one shit in his pocket and peeping it and being like, yo, you cheating, right? It comes from years of going to the bodega and being able to pocket a juicy fruit in my hand and put it in my pocket without nobody seeing because I didn't have a quarter back then, right? It comes from years of knowing how exactly to get from my house to the school on the bus without having to pay for it, right? Comes from years of that. It's in my blood. I know how you form your beliefs.
How did I form my beliefs?
When Trump says some shit, you say some shit like a parrot.
Yep.
Like parrot. You don't think I got my own beliefs?
Yeah, you have your own beliefs.
Did you think I just following, Trump blindly?
Yes.
What you think?
Absolutely.
Yes. You know how I know?
How do you
know? You know how I know? Because you're saying what he says, except you don't have even a chart to point me to. You expect me to believe that you, from Michigan, can see the southern border. And you don't even believe that, right? You wouldn't go up to your cousin and say some dumb shit like that. Like at Christmas dinner. If
Jeff, you can't say the DUMB, that's ableist.
Oh, well, yeah, my bad. I apologize. You wouldn't say some unintelligent ridiculousness like that, right? At the dinner table with your family. Be like, yo, I could see the southern border from here. That's some Sarah Palin level shit, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's how I know.
That's how you know. All right. So you think I'm just a follower, Trump follower, and that's it then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all it is to it then. That's what you're thinking.
Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, completely wrong.
Okay, so then tell me how you form. If it's not just repeating what Trump says, tell me what.
I'm not repeating what
you are, because he says all the time the border's secure now.
Yeah,
I want you to tell me. Listen, I want you to tell me, because I know a lot of Nicaraguan people. I know Nicaraguan people. Y'all don't fall for scams, right? Salvadorian, same ish. Y'all don't fall for scams. I want you to tell me, because if I told somebody from Nicaragua I just bought a car and I'm going to sell it to them, they got to test drive it 5 times before they test drive it. You feel me?
Yeah.
I know y'all. So what did you do to verify that the southern border is secure?
Look, man, I see it in the community. Whatever you say, that's all.
We're going right back to Detroit.
Because I trust me, Brent. I had seen them coming through all this year, man. I saw, in Detroit, man. I seen them when the Hondurans came through in the 2000s. I seen it. I seen them when
now we're talking about him and his limited ass view again.
Let me. Can I finish really quick? I seen it when the Dominican came through in 2010, 2012. I seen them. You know what I mean? I seen that my community getting bigger. I seen it, when they come through and everything else. I seen everybody else that came through in the last 4 years, 5 years. And I seen it right now that it's really hard to come through. It's not as easy to come through right now. It's not, and they're charging you $12,000. They're charging you right now $20,000, $30,000 to come through.
You know why you're not hearing about it?
Yeah, I'm not hearing about what?
About people coming through?
What? What is it?
Because you're a snitch.
I'm a snitch. What that got to do with any snitch? Where does snitch come from?
That's why because the only way you hearing it is if people tell you.
What are you talking about? I'm around
right
the
now.
Community. I'm around the community. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you how my community grew. And I've been here since the '90s.
Let me tell you something I know by what
I'm telling you.
How you talking.
How my community.
Let me tell you what I know about you by how you talking. At least twice a week, you walk in a room and people either stop talking or change the subject.
Wow.
You ever been in a situation where people were laughing and then you walk up and they stop laughing?
Everybody been around that situation.
Yeah, Winston, that's because they don't trust that you're gonna be able to get with them.
Everybody goes through that. Everybody, man. Everybody once in their lifetime, you go through a room and somebody's gonna be laughing.
Santana.
What are you talking about?
Santana. This is how I know. Hold on. Winston.
Now you're calling me a snitch.
Hold on, Winston. Santana. This right here, this conversation right here is how you know they're never gonna gentrify Washington Heights. Never. It's never gonna happen. They could gentrify Harlem. They'll put 10 Starbucks on Jerome Avenue in the Bronx before they ever gentrify Washington Heights. Because I could peep these cats from a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it's like understanding the difference, and then even more so, getting to the point where, like, Jeff, I feel like he's just being willfully ignorant. Like, that's what we're dealing with, right? It's not an issue of like him not knowing or a misunderstanding or anything. Like, he's willfully being ignorant. So I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want to do with that one.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to understand how did I become a snitch out of me having my own opinion. I mean,
the fact that
just because
no,
I
it's
have
not
an
an
opinion.
no. Look,
Just because
if you were
I
to
don't
tell
agree with
me,
you, I'm in a snitch now because I don't agree
nah,
with
listen,
what you're
if
saying.
you were
What
to,
you're saying,
if
that's
you were to
kind of
tell
like
me,
disrespectful. Then I
hold
mean, you're
on,
calling me a snitch. You don't
nah,
even know me.
listen.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're such a victim. This is an observation. If I tell you,
It's because you
hey,
struck a nerve, Jeff.
Yeah, if I tell you, listen, the economy is doing bad, and I don't care what president is at the helm. I just think capitalism bad and people just push buttons. I say that all the time. But if I tell you the economy is bad and you're like, what do you base that on? And I go, I looked out my window, then I don't know what I'm talking about. Like nobody should believe me. Everybody should point and laugh, right? But you're telling me you believe about the border because you stopped hearing about people coming. Clearly, you're not out there counting Nicaraguans in your neighborhood, right? Like you're not out there cataloging how many people move. That's what white people do. White people
Jeff,
be out there.
no. You missed it. You missed it. So he and I have already talked about. I gave him that actual, perspective already. But his point is that he has a friend group of about 40 people, and his friend group of about 40 people are connected because they live in the ghetto and they have the perspective of all people.
That's wild. That's wild. So you saying the chatter in your group chat stopped? They just moved to a different group chat. This is what I'm saying. Like, look, all you non-Hispanic people out there, all you non-Black people out there, marginalized communities are very protective. When you stop hearing something, like we're not stopping doing what we're doing. When you stop hearing it, it's because we no longer trust you. Believe that. We don't trust you no more. That's it. That's all. If somebody was going to tell me, hey, the border is secure, there are a lot of people that come here and say the border is secure and here are some numbers. Here's some stuff I looked at. But not I looked out my window and people stopped talking to me. People stop talking to you means you're a snitch. That's what that means. It means that people do not trust you, especially when ICE is all over the place dragging people off the street. They're not going to tell you where they're hiding at. They're not going to tell you where they're congregating at. You think my family just be like, oh, my cousin just came over here and be telling everybody? Hell no. Hell no. There's Dominicans in my family that are white passing and we don't tell them nada.
All right, bro. I mean, I guess, I'm labeled snitch now because, my close friends right now, we seeing that the immigration population have went down and, then there's not that
You don't
many
know that.
problems. I don't know that.
Let me ask you this. Do you got one of them counters the ice cream man uses and you clicking every time you see somebody that look like you?
Yeah.
You counting?
Not walking around clicking for undocumented immigrants.
That's wild.
I'm not. See what you guys misinterpreting what I'm trying to say. When I'm trying to say in the Latino community, we're not seeing it. There's many immigrants, no more. They're coming through.
How are you counting?
I mean, we're seeing them from family, people they're trying to cross over. That
How are you counting?
From my close friends.
How are they counting?
It's the sample set.
How are they counting?
I'm gonna just keep asking the question. How are they counting?
How are they counting? Because they know they're not going to bring their cousins right now because they know it's too hard to bring their cousin right now. Because instead of paying $12,000 right now, they're paying $25,000 right now. So they're not crossing right now. They don't want to because they know they don't want to go through all that problem. They get over here, they get pulled over, they're going to get sent back. So it has slowed down. It has slowed down.
So because your friends can't bring their family over, that means it's slowed down? I'm asking you, how are you counting overall?
It's the community around it, man. I mean, I don't, bro. Whatever.
Yeah, how are you counting the community?
I mean, that I'm just saying by my close friends and everything else that are around the community, we have seen a big time slow.
I'm asking you, how are you counting? I don't know if you realize what I'm asking you. How are you counting the slowdown?
You want me to count them one by one?
No.
That
What do you
because I'm
think?
not
What do
out
you?
there,
No, no, that's not what I'm
I'm not
asking
out
you,
there counting them by one
bro.
that I don't know. Because I don't got. But what I'm just saying, what I'm seeing
Take your
around the
listen,
circle.
Winston. You have your ego all up in this combo. I'm asking, how are you counting?
All right, man. You know, we can go back and forth, man. You're just gonna keep asking the same question. I keep telling you the same
Until you answer it.
Yeah, Winston, what is your methodology? Winston, what is your methodology for the way that you are engaging with your peers? Are you getting a sample set that is suitable in order to create forecasting and projection? Are you doing a direct one-for-one tally? Like, how are you compiling the data in order to be able to project this out to the rest of undocumented immigrants and then present it as a suitable source? Like, what's your methodology?
From what I'm seeing around my neighborhood.
So your eyes are your methodology.
Yeah. What I'm seeing around my neighborhood.
What are you seeing?
There's not that much immigration coming through.
Yo, that's the conclusion.
That's my conclusion.
Am I tripping?
No, Jeff, what he's telling us is that he's standing in Michigan, but he's watching the southern border from his front door.
I'm not saying that. I'm not
that's
saying
literally
that.
what you're saying.
I'm not saying that, man.
If you don't have a methodology, then how are you?
It's too hard to come through right now through the southern border. It's too
based
hard.
off of what, Winston?
Based of what people are saying.
Who are people? Who are people? I'm sitting here saying that it's easy.
Jeff,
like you can walk in from any point and you get into the U.S. easily. So then how?
It's not that easy.
It's what I see. Like I see people coming into the country all the time, Winston. Winston, the people in my circle said that it's easier today to get in the country than ever before.
Illegally, right now.
Yeah, people in my circle,
undocumented,
undocumented. People in my circle says that we're getting about 1 million to 2 million people in every single day.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I guess the border's not secure. Then I guess we got to secure the border. Then
you're fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Jeff,
right.
You got anything else for him?
Listen, Winston. I hate to tell you this, and I hate to be the one to tell you this. I've been Spanish my whole life. I've been in my community my whole life, and I'm trusted in my whole life, right? Like I know how to watch out. You are somebody that people look at as unsafe to talk about these things with.
Mm-hmm.
Your close friends might think you awesome and all that, but I'm telling you, your community is not telling you nothing that they think can be played back in court.
Yep.
Not a damn thing.
Yep.
Because that's how people get caught up. Is they say something to some dude named Winston, and next thing you know, a whole restaurant gets raided, and then it's not just the cousin, it's the whole family gets looped up and put in a van, and nobody sees them again. They ain't talking to Winston.
Nope. Hey, Winston, I want to read this off for you real quick because MAGA Cry sent a $2 super chat to say, $2 donation to say, stop lying, Winston. Snitches don't have friends. I agree. Also, W's in the chat for Jacob, who sent a $1.99 super chat to say, are his close friends ICE agents? Are your close friends ICE agents, Winston?
Not at all. Not even one.
Yeah.
Not even one. Yeah.
Okay. Winston,
yeah,
hey.
Like I say, I got
I can barely hear you again. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me now better?
A little bit better. Winston, listen.
You guys are smart guys, man. Let me tell you that, man. A lot of respect for you guys.
Listen, I appreciate you coming up here and you standing on business, right? Not everyone has the ability to come up here and actually, put forth what they believe. Not everyone has the ability to stand 10 toes down and talk about what they actually believe in. Winston, not everyone has the testicular fortitude that you do. And so for that, Winston, two things. One, kudos, right? Kudos. Two, I'm going to do something for you that I normally only do for friendlies. You're not a friendly because you and I don't agree, but I'm going to do something for you that I normally do for my friends. If you'll allow it, Winston, I would like to show you as a sign of mutual respect. I would like to show you a magic trick. Is that okay?
Right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And again, this is something that I don't do for everyone, right? I don't do this for everyone, but I want to do it for you, Winston. And so I'm going to show you a magic trick. All right, ready? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fuck out of here. You're sitting here talking out your ass, and the whole time is just, oh, I see this and I see that and I see this and I see. Fuck out of here. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, Jeff.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When he said Michigan, I almost I know you say you about to throw your phone before. I almost threw my phone.
Bro, they're always like nowhere near. And like Michigan, you got a border that you could be talking about. Why aren't you talking about the fucking northern border? I don't give a shit about that one, Jeff. I don't give a shit about that one. Jeff, I want to read this super chat out really quick before you skedaddle. Debbie's in the chat for Susan. Susan sent a $10 super chat to say, I don't know how you do this every day. Thank you for doing it. Also, I got on Solid's Patreon and he's fucking amazing. Love you, Jeff, Solid, Erica, everyone. Love you guys. Debbie's in the chat for Susan. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat.
Susan for hitting that Patreon though.
Listen, Jeff, I told him, I said, if they do it and they don't agree, money back guarantee, come holler at me. Fucking come holler at me. So anyway, I think that's a wrap for me, Jeff. I'm calling it because one, I started late, two, I got things to do, but three, I will be back. So I think this is gonna be it for me.
Word.
Are you going live today?
I am going live later. We're also doing some mutual aid. I'm gonna let you know what it is.
Talk about it really quick.
Not yet, because I gotta finalize some stuff with the person that needs it. But yeah, I'll let you know once I have all the details.
Yeah, I'm always down to clown and help out in any way I can. So let me know.
Dope.
All right, bro.
All right, I'll see you later.
Yep, have a good one. Guys, really quickly, I want to read a couple other thank yous. Debbie's in the chat for Gucci. Debbie's in the chat for Gucci for the $10 donation. Saying went through a bit of Gary's following. Something really disturbing was he followed a lot of clearly AI women, including an unsettling amount of Black women, saying that the wildest thing, and the comments were gross. I'm concerned about AI fueling anti-Blackness propaganda. Listen, they literally have done so. Yeah, so I'm about to call it. I was only going to do 2 hours because I started late. I got a couple of things that I have to do, and I'm going to come back later. Why? Did you want to come up? Did you have something? Solid pluggables? Pluggables? Guys, anytime the Solid gets to the end of his live and I'm listening and he's like, you guys got pluggables? And I always put pay links in the link tree in the bio. That's my pluggable. Solid, if you want to come up for a minute, you can. You got it. W's in the chat for like the AI, like the way that they plan on using AI and the harm that it's caused people within the Black community is like fucking wild. It's massively wild, and you could see it when they started having like the videos of Black people eating fried chicken and all this other bullshit. Like it's fucking wild. Fucking wild. But W's in the chat for you for that, Gucci. And guys, holy fucking shit. Massive W's, a million W's for Sydney. Sydney sent a $100 donation saying, one day I'll catch you live again. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy holidays if you do not. Thank you for being here. Sydney, thank you so much for that $100 donation. I hope you're having an amazing holiday couple of days, like this week, next week, all this other stuff. Thank you so much for being fucking awesome. I know you're probably listening back on YouTube or whatever, but you're awesome, and so are all the other tubers. So fucking thank you. W's in the chat. Solid, what up, bro?
Yoski, broski. My bad, man. I had a long work day. I was hoping to unwind by dunking on some Kadunka chuds,
Listen, I said I'll be back later. I don't know what you got. You weren't live yesterday. I was looking for you, but if you
listen,
if you're available later.
I had to take a vacation. I just want to do my pluggable real quick. Y'all go subscribe to my Patreon.
Wait, did you hear Susan?
What did Susan say?
I'll read the super chat again. Susan said, I don't know how you do this every day. Thank you for doing it. Also, got on Solid's Patreon, and he's fucking amazing. Love you, Jeff, Solid, Erica, everyone, and every one of you guys, and then heart.
I was typing W Susan, but I'm going to say W Susan. Thank you so much, Susan. Yeah, if you want to learn about how to discuss racism in the first place, where you have a sociological foundation and understanding of racism, instead of just like a layman's coming in off the street. I just watched Remember the Titans understanding of racism. I understand racism. I watched Coach Carter. Please subscribe to the Patreon. I got some classes on there. I think we're, you know what? I don't know. I don't want to make any promises, but we got to do episode 5 coming up here pretty soon. We're going to do episode 4.5 where we do a little bit of debate analysis and we apply what we've learned this far to the debates we've been having. That's it, brother. I'll be here, brother. I got to.
Did you see Peach dunking on old boy earlier?
I did not. Were they cooking?
Oh, you know it. You know it. Yeah, it was weird. He came in and he was like, he started kind of talking to Trump, and then come to find out, apparently he goes from live to live to live talking about like, are white men inherently racist? But he didn't say inherent. He tried to make it sound like it was a biological thing, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And I can't support the liberals because they make me feel bad for being a white man and all this other stuff. It was a whole thing.
Oh, hey, do you think they're just pretending?
No, I think that they love attention. Like, you know how solid attention is, like the currency that we live by today. And people are starving for that. And so like anything that you can say or do to get attention is going to be what they say or do. So that's what it is.
That's rough. I hear you, and you're making sense to me. I just hope that you're wrong, you know, because that would make me sad.
Yeah,
There's just so much stuff we got to get done.
But think about it, right? I mean, like even growing up and coming to, you know, from where we are to where we are now in the development of like the internet and then applications and like the world has become so small, right? Because we can access so many different things in so many different ways within, you know, the palm of our hand. And, you know, I can press a button on my phone and speak to 1,000, 2,000 people, 3,000 people all around the world, right? Did you know, like one of the most popular areas for my lives on YouTube is Australia?
Why?
I'm doing fucking numbers in Australia. Like,
are you doing numbers in Australia?
Like, it's wild. It's weird. It's weird. But the point that I'm making is like the world is so small now. And you have that ability, but it's also the fact that like people, especially like the younger generation, and they've gotten older now, they grew up online. People literally grew up, you know, on the screen. And then I think the pandemic shifted people's ability to actually function in society without a screen. And so like, I think we're still dealing with the ramifications of that. And so having the ability to like say the far right or the conspiracy theories online, then you get to now say that in front of people where people are listening. Like it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I came up, I had a guy come up last night and, you know, I wasn't really getting any debate, so I engaged him for a little bit, but he was spewing as many conspiracy theories as he could off the top of his head, like back to back. I had to tell him, like, hey, slow down, because you're going to get banned for misinformation. And like, let's try to, you know, talk through some of this. And he kept just like getting him off, and he was like, yeah, usually people kick me by then. I said, yeah, that's because like, what the fuck you're doing? Like, the point being is that people now have access and the ability to reach so many people in ways that they haven't been able to. And so now the attention for certain people are addictive, and that's why they do it.
There's that. And, you know, another side effect is that it puts laymen in the same arenas as experts. And that is one of the most frustrating things about it to me. It's just like, you should not have you should not be validated the same way that an expert is validated. You just some dude coming in off the street saying, I know stuff, I can say words, and then we're like stuck listening to you. While meanwhile, the expert has got like 2 viewers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So do you think that is the
It absolutely is. But, you know, it's funny, like, again, the conversation I was having with the guy earlier, when he came in, he specifically wanted to turn this into a race conversation, in which I told him, I said, listen, you know, I can have this conversation. I feel confident enough as far as being able to have this conversation, but I said there's people like Peach, in which I saw Peach in the comments. I said like Peach, like Swan, like Jeff, like Solid, like Sean, like Adorna. I said they would literally dog walk me on these topics. And I said, and if you're looking to actually engage with this type of conversation, then you should go into one of their spaces when they're specifically talking about these types of things, because you'll actually get like real knowledge, not to your point, like a layman's, somebody that watch Remember the Titans or whatever, but you can get like actual information that would be even more beneficial. But like I always,
it's not even that, right? Like, you've taken the time to at least listen, right?
Yeah.
You've taken the time to at least learn and inform yourself, and you're being modest, right? But that is the difference. The curiosity is the difference. You know, there's some people who just aren't curious at all. Yeah. And that's the most frustrating part for me.
For me, I put out a very simple litmus test for people, whether I'm going to engage in a conversation with them. If you can't tell me what race is, and you can't tell me what racism is and the functionality, not just the definitions, then like I can't have the conversation with you, because like you're not at very least, you're not where I am, and it's not fruitful. Like everything past that becomes people talking about cattle slavery. Like, what the fuck are we doing? So.
Right. Noah says we got to rework that definition of communism. I use I use the same definition as Karl Marx.
Talk about me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like there was a guy who was coming up. The conspiracy theory guy was talking about how like the Jewish community that runs like social media and all this other stuff for communists. This is a whole fucking thing. I don't know. It was like he was going a million miles. People were like trying to say like, hey, you need to check him on this, and that. Like he was literally solid. You know how it is when people are steamrolling, going a million miles a minute, and you're trying to like wrangle them. Like I couldn't get a hold of this shit. Sometimes I don't get my bearings when people are like steamrolling.
Yeah, you know, it won't work for everybody, but do you know what I do? A little verbal judo. I just say, hey, let me see if I understand what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And that kind of, for many, it doesn't work 100% of the time. For many folks, it gives them pause because they're curious to see if you heard what they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that also gives you an opportunity to kind of say, to kind of point out the flaws in the logic. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, there's nothing you could do about when they're gone, Brody. They're gone.
Yeah,
they're gone.
And especially when I don't like. There's a term that I've heard people using, and I need to verify whether it's ableist or not, because I don't want to use it if it is. But like when people come in and like they're trying to say every single word that they know all at once before like something happens, like it's fucking weird. I don't know. I don't get it. So
is it ultra crepidarian? No.
No. I can say that word. I can say that word.
No,
I can say that one.
It's I don't know if there's anything you could do about it, Brody. But Pete, man, I'm gonna let you rock. I'm gonna try and build up some energy and motivation to do some chores, and then I might be up by the time you get back. So
all right, all right. If you are, I'll be watching. If not, then like I said, you can come back later.
For sure.
All right, bro. All right, guys. We're calling it. We're calling it. We're calling it. Looks like Parker is live. So go show some love to Parker. If you guys are still interested in some debates, Parker's on. He's on Parker Get a Real Job. And you guys can go watch some debates there. I might stop in and hang out for a little while, but go and go show Parker some love. All right, where's the comment? I don't know why. I gotta check the fucking filters on this one. I don't know what's happening, but it won't let me post the comment. Yeah, Parker Get a Real Job. Let's go raid. Parker Get a Real Job. Santana, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Today's my mom's birthday. I got to call her once I get off live. Today is Mama Jones' birthday. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go raid Parker. Santana raid over to Parker. He's at Parker, get a real job on his backup. Let's get out of here.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey,
step in if you dare.
Guys. Oh, thank you, Joanna. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you all for hanging out. I know it was a shorter live. We will be back later this evening. But like I said, if you're still interested in some debates, go over to Parker, get a real job. Show Parker some love. Santana raid. Let's see if that worked. There it is. Yep. W's in the chat for Joanna. W's in the chat for the mods. Go over to Parker. Parker, get a real job. Santana raid, get over there. I will stop in and hang out at some point. Anyway, guys, I will see you all later. Probably somewhere around 7 or 8 p.m. Pacific, somewhere around there. I'll let you guys know. Anyway, thank you for all the gifts, the likes, the taps, the shares. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for being amazing. Go raid Parker, show him some love. I love you all. And as always,